And action.
Looks like it.
And we're live. Hello, everyone. How's it going?
Good.
Hey, Jen.
She was in early.
Hello, everyone.
Oh, I got to mute my. There we go. Got my YouTube muted.
Come on, man. I'm just kidding.
You can't mute it before it comes on, so when it's on the delay.
So I found out how to do that. If you go into a YouTube video, just a random one, and mute that one.
Oh, yeah.
And then go to this channel or whatever channel is doing the live, then it works. It took me forever to figure that out, but
that makes sense. Yeah, because there was no way to do it just on the still, even with the countdown. There was no way to do it.
Yeah, I was the one that was constantly doing this to our show every single week. Like my bad.
No, I've seen it on other shows, so it's not just y'all. It's been me and Danny as well, and some of the others that I watch. And I apologize ahead of time for the glare on my glasses. It doesn't matter where I put my camera. I always have a glare because I'm staring at the screen. Yeah. So I can wear them. I can wear them down on the end of my nose and just look up at the camera, but I need them to read.
Yeah, my trick is, which I realized I forgot my ring light tonight, but I usually have my ring light over here to the side, and because if I don't, it projects me super white than what I already am, and then it puts that glare on my glasses.
That's like I got one little like a snake light on this side of my desk that I use even if I'm working at night. I have that on only. There's a big light up there, but I don't put it on during lives. And I got just a regular flex lamp. Picked it up at a thrift store, shining up on the wall on this side, so it kind of gets a little light from this way. But I have two monitors, and unless I black them out, they glare off my glass.
Yeah, I have to put my monitors at like certain angles, which is kind of annoying because my main monitor, I'm like kind of looking down, and then my other monitor is kind of going up. So I just try to focus on the one looking down because it's easier to read the chat and everything.
Yeah. And I've tried, this is probably the 5th camera angle that I've tried today and on lives, just to try to get it to where it will work. Because it's a loose camera. I don't have a camera built into my monitors. It's just a regular webcam. I have it on a tripod, and I've just been moving it around, putting it on a box, put it on top of the monitor, put it down on the little shelf below the monitor. It is what it is.
Have you thought about getting my webcam actually just sits on top of my monitor? I ended up buying one.
Yeah.
Because my laptop camera is really hazy and it kind of looks yellow. So I don't like using it if I don't have to.
Yeah. We got the first comment that Marcy has taken over for Chuck. Dan, our Vandalay.
Chuck's not feeling really hot right now, so I'm sitting in the hot seat for him.
He's off to the left or right there, however you want to look at it. So, but hello, everybody.
Faith. Hey, Faith. I thought I saw you in here. And Big Brother at the auction.
Yeah, I saw him on
Dan. Hey, Dan. Art Vandalay. BBQ, back by Silver. And Bobby.
Hey, Jimmy.
Hi, everyone.
And Jimmy.
I won't go name by name since Marcy just did that. I don't want to seem like I'm repeating her.
Sorry.
No, don't be sorry. It's fine. I didn't want to repeat everything.
Like the cockpit in the movie Airplane. Yeah. Roger, Victor. This guy, that guy.
Don't call me Shirley.
Don't call me Shirley.
Nate, I wanted to show you this book because I found this at the library and I instantly thought of you. So the name of the book is Selling Dead People's Things, Inexplicably True Tales, Vintage Fails, and Objects of Objectionable Estates. Can you see that?
Oh,
that
goodness.
Is awesome. Selling Dead People's Things. I'm writing this down.
If you go to an estate sale, that's probably what you're doing.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Like, I think I might have said it on this show before, and I'm like, what's the point of collecting? Because one day you're just going to die, and someone's going to come buy it from an estate sale.
Yep.
Which I still collect things, but
sure.
Thank you for that, Marcy. I'm going to look that up.
Yeah, I thought that would be a fast read.
And you found that at a thrift store or at a estate sale or what?
No, actually, one of the libraries in our system had it in their library, and then I guess it wasn't checking out, so they decided to get rid of it. And I said, "Well, we'll take it." So,
sure.
Yeah, it came in the box, and I opened it up, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" I forgot I had told them I would take it. Like, this is so cool.
That's right up Nate's alley, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you guys ever see that one weird video? I say weird video, but it's one of my older videos. But I had like some kind of weird wispy thing come in through the video and go out, and I literally stopped and I'm like, "What? Did you guys see that?" Like,
weird.
Yeah,
I'll have to go and check that out. I haven't made it all the way through your back catalog yet.
It's okay. If you don't want to, I understand.
No, I'll check it out.
Some of my earlier videos, I just cringe at myself. I'm like, why did you post that?
I do it on the current ones too. But I'm very self-deprecating, so I can handle it.
Ooh, Tanya and Dave.
Me, Chandra, Tanya.
Oh, good, Tanya. Yeah, Tanya ordered a Bears coffee mug, so I sent her just an extra one with the one she already ordered, and I'm glad he liked them.
Cool.
It was my first YouTube sale, so I was pretty excited about that.
I haven't had a YouTube sale, but I've had an Instagram sale.
See, that's another market I'm trying to get into, is get people to buy from Instagram.
I still don't know what I'm doing there. I just posted a picture of something, and somebody's like, "Hey, you still have it?" Oh, it was the thermal printer. I bought a thermal printer off of eBay, one of those Netum. It looks like a Rollo. And that it came in on Thursday, and that Saturday, first garage sale I go to, first thing I see is what was it? Was it a Dymo? I don't know if it was a Dymo or not. No, it was the Zebra. Brand new in the box, never been used. Ladies telling me, "Oh, this is a $500 printer. How much do you want for it?" $10. Okay.
Wow.
So I posted it up on Instagram, and some guy out of California hit me up on it. He's like, "Hey, do you still have that?" And yeah, I haven't listed it yet. What do you want for it? And I told him, and we made a deal, and it's his now.
Nice. I can never find, I would say, good deals around, at least around my area like that, because I would flip out if I saw a thermal printer for $10.
I honestly couldn't believe it. She had that, and she had a bunch of shoes too, like new shoes in the box.
Oh, wow.
Athletic shoes and dress shoes. I think I've sold one already, but I bought like 2 pairs of Nikes, and she had some Asics and a New Balance, all like running shoes type stuff. I didn't know anything about like dress shoes, either women's or men's for that matter. So I don't really pick those up that often unless I have time to look them up at the garage sale. When I saw that Zebra, I was just like, "That's mine." And then if I found anything else, it was great. I just wanted to get that thing back to the truck and
like, do not set this down.
Right. I am not making a pile.
I have a terrible habit of setting things down when I go to sales, and then next thing I know, I'm already back home going through everything excited, and I'm like, "You idiot, you have left that at the yard sale."
Yeah.
Every time.
Chuck's lurking tonight. Hi, Lissa. That's why I was just answering her real quick. He's lurking. He's off to the side.
I tried to kill him off, but it didn't work.
Every once in a while they make it. They come back.
Hey, Dina, Ella, Misha, Tanya, I think I said hi. Dave, Rat Stash. I'm sorry if I don't know your guys' names. I'm bad with names, but I'm trying to get there.
Yeah, I saw Big Brother at the auction. I saw him last night on Angie's and Bobby's live show. Went over and subbed to his channel. I haven't had a chance to check out any of his videos yet, but he was pretty active in the chat last night.
Yeah, he got a I'm still having my wife look at the dolls that he ended up getting at a state sale. He got nice old dolls, because we collect a lot of dolls, and I'm going to have her look at his videos and see if there's anything in there that she wants.
Yeah, it's a hassle to take over, Misha.
Thank you all for having me on, first and foremost. I really appreciate it.
I'm glad you wanted to be on.
I always have fun watching your show, so
Might as well join us, right?
I might as well come in here and get berated.
Hey, Dina. Stop. It's
Phantom
really hard
Con.
for me to do two things at one time. I'm sorry. I'm trying to read the chat and pay attention to what you guys are saying.
Oh,
And
you're
I'm
good,
a
Marcy.
terrible host.
Hey,
Well,
John.
you're the host, Marcy. Nate can keep up with chat. I'll keep up with chat.
I'm a terrible host. I didn't even bring any snacks or booze.
Well, I may
It's
have a
okay.
beer.
I'm making up for it, guys, tonight for you.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
So Chuck had written some questions down that he wanted to ask you, Keith.
Awesome.
And the first one is, what is the D in KnD?
Oh, that would be my wife, Deborah.
Okay.
When I first started all this, I thought that she would be perfect for it because she is a bargain shopper, but she's more of a bargain shopper at actual retail outlets.
Oh, sure.
She's not so much of a garage sale thrift store type person. But yeah, she'll still find stuff. She'll notify me if something pops up on one of our Facebook Marketplace pages, or she's even got friends, that I forget what it was. I'm looking back there like she's there. She's not there. So one of her friends had something they wanted me to try to sell for them. But anyway, yeah, that is my wife, Deborah.
Okay.
My son has actually helped me out a little more than what she has. And his actual first name is David. So I guess we could use that as well.
Well, there you
But
go.
he goes by his middle name, which is Grayson.
Okay.
So that's the D in KnD.
That is the D. So does she likes to shop at the stores. Does she ever do retail arbitrage for you?
She'll point some stuff out every once in a while. That 2.5, 3 years ago when I first kind of started this, I was all gung-ho. I was going to be the next Amazon and eBay millionaire. And, I showed her how all of it worked and how you could scan stuff and this, that, and the other. And occasionally she would see things and point them out to me, but rarely does she really pick anything up. She may notify me that, hey, I saw this, that, and the other while I was here, there, and everywhere. And do you think it's worth anything? I said, well, let me know. Or I've tried to get her and my son to download like the eBay app at least on their phone so they could scan.
Yeah.
I think she may. I don't know if she has the Amazon seller app on her phone. I still use that to check stuff. I don't sell anything on Amazon anymore, but yeah, she'll point some stuff out here and there. But yeah, she's the kind that can go into a department store, Kohl's, Penny's, whatever, and find the great deals off the rack and use her Kohl's bucks or whatever. And we got like a sporting goods place down here. I know they're in other states. I don't think they're up in your part of the country, either one of you. Academy Sports and Outdoors.
No.
He always seems to find really good deals there. So they're kind of like, which we just recently got Dick's Sporting Goods down here.
Yeah, we have Dick's up here.
I don't care for them too much. They're probably about 20% higher than what Academy is on most things.
Okay.
But yeah, Academy's kind of, I think it started out in Texas and it's branched out throughout some of the other southern states, I know. But yeah, she's, we've got some really nice like outdoor chairs, the hydraulic ones that you can kind of sit and, go back and forth on, not just the regular fold out ones. I mean, they do fold out, but you can actually kind of rock at them and everything. We take them, if we go to any kind of an outdoor event or anything like that, she got those really cheap, got them on discount. So she's got an eye for it. She don't really necessarily go out seeking anything like that, but
yeah,
she's good at stumbling upon stuff because she'll stay in a store for a little while.
Nice. Yeah, my family always complains to me because I spend a little time in the stores too.
Yeah. I'm in and out, man. I got a purpose, unless I'm thrifting or something like that.
Yeah.
If I'm going to the grocery store, or I rarely go to Walmart anymore, but any kind of a store like that, I know what I want. I know where it's at. I go in, I get it, and I get out.
That sounds like Chuck. And I'm just the opposite. Like, I want to go in and like, where are the deals?
I used to when I was younger, when you're pinching pennies, yeah, I mean, I would spend time. I would comparison shop. Of course, that was all pre-internet and everything.
Yeah.
You had to go do the miles. You had to walk. You go to the mall, which, I mean, the malls are kind of dying off. We still have one or two around here that are still decent, but you walk from one end to the other. Even just me, like a pair of shoes, I would hit every store I knew that carried that particular brand of shoes to see who had it cheapest. Hey, Chuck. So, Yeah, I've always got the bargain hunting thing in. I've always kind of had that. But yeah, it's fun. And then now that, all this reselling stuff has come around again, which I've been on eBay since 2004, I guess. But yeah, we never really did it seriously. We did some retail stuff around Christmas, but we never did it as a year-round hobby or means of a passive income or anything like that, which now we do for the last 3 years.
So when was the last time that you sold on Amazon?
Probably a book, because that's all I left in there. I'd pulled most of my stuff out that hadn't sold. I sold on Amazon for probably 18 months.
Okay.
And it was mostly retail arbitrage, just whatever you would find at Walmart, or, I was still gated. I was new, so I was gated in a lot of categories, but I was able to get ungated the more that I sold. And a lot of that initially is books, which, you can see any of the big Amazon sellers out there, a lot of them will say start with books, and a lot of them still do books. But that's the last things that I'd kept in there. I had like 18 books, and they were sitting, and it was coming up on 6 months. After 6 months, they charge you a storage fee. So I just pulled them all. I still have my store. I just don't have anything in it, and I'm not paying the monthly fee to have the FBA store.
Oh, okay.
I've always been intimidated by Amazon.
It's getting a little more strict too, from what I understand. So
that's what I'm seeing.
I don't know that I'll venture back in.
I watch a lot of videos on it, and I'm one of these people that, even if I'm like buying something stupid online, like I do my research on everything, and I hate it because it frustrates me. But when I'm like with the reselling, like on different platforms, like it took me forever to get on Mercari and I still haven't sold anything on Mercari, but it took me months and months because all I do is do this exhausting research. It's almost like an OCD of mine where I cannot make a decision without researching it first. And it's stressful, but like more and more I look into Amazon, and I know they've been adding more and more rules and stuff like that. It's just like, I don't know if I want to get into that at this point.
Yeah. Some of the people that I've followed, like from the get-go, and they've been selling on Amazon for quite a while. They're even having trouble now, as far as they're sending stuff in, and then, as they scan it, it'll say that they're fine, they're ungated, they can send it in, and when it arrives at a warehouse, they'll all of a sudden say, "Oh, well, no, you're gated, you can't sell this," or you have it in the wrong category, or whatever. So they have to pull it back.
I feel like Amazon is kind of like, to me, I compare it to the industry that I'm in, the pharmaceutical industry. There's so much red tape with Amazon compared to eBay, especially Facebook Marketplace. There's like hardly anything, and it's just like, I'm doing well on those. Why change? Like, why switch it up and give myself that extra headache at this point?
You're feeling better?
Yeah.
Okay. He said I'm doing a terrible job, so he's gonna jump.
Just keep a bucket next to the chair.
Yeah. So I want to just say hello to Austin is in the chat. Hello, Austin. And I didn't say hi to Harry. And stop. Journey is in the chat. Hi, Journey. Oh yes, and Bobby. So
I saw Bobby pop in.
Yeah, and Marcy, has any white bearded fellow shown up at your door today? Why, yes, Bobby, they did. So quick story, and then I'll switch places with him because he's funnier than I am. Shut up. So I was making lunch, and I noticed that the post guy was at my door, and I'm like, okay, we got a package. So I'm texting him at work, and I'm like, did you buy anything? Because he's buying stuff all the time, and he's like, no, I didn't buy anything. And I'm like, well, did you buy something from Bobby, or did you win something? Because he's a prize pig, and he wins stuff all the time. Like, no, I don't remember buying or winning anything. So I waited until he got home. He opened it, and he's like, oh my God. And I'm like, well, what is it? Because it was like a bigger box, and it was like super like lightweight, and it had a fragile sticker on it. I'm like, what's in the box? It's a vintage Empire Santa Claus.
Oh.
Slow molds. He's like this high. He's up in my eBay room right now.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay.
I think last week, there was Bobby stumbled upon a house that I think the elderly mother had passed away, and the adult son was there just like throwing stuff out, and told him, if you see anything here and you want it, you can just take it. So he had picked up. They were throwing out 2 of those blow molds, and they're like, it's in excellent condition. It doesn't even look like it's even been used at all.
Wow.
And it's like, holy cow, I can't believe people were throwing that out. And he was so nice to send that to me, and I was actually speechless for once. And
wow, that's neat.
So
It amazes me what people throw away, like
Yeah.
all the time. When I see stuff on the side of the road, I'm just like, do you realize what you have? Like, what are you doing?
Yep. You're such a thing.
Yeah, there's still a market for any of that old nostalgic stuff. You know, people my age, you know, we had those things in the yard when we were kids. The big blow molds.
Yeah. My mom always had them out in her yard too. And I asked her because she had the big Santa Claus, I think from like the late 60s, and she finally got rid of it, I guess, like 10 years ago. So, but yeah, they're
my grandma will not let me sell her old Frosty mold. She's had that thing forever, and she's like, I still love him. And I'm like, you've not used him in probably the last 10 years. He's just sitting in the garage collecting dust. I'm like, let me make you some money for you. And she's like, you leave Frosty alone. I'm like,
hey, let me ask y'all one thing. I did come across one of the old ceramic Christmas trees, you know, the one with the little lights on each little peak of the tree, the little colored lights. But this didn't have the lights. It was just a ceramic tree, you know, with the holes for all the lights. Would that still have been a good pickup? I didn't pick it up.
Well, what were they asking? Do you remember?
I don't recall. I knew that was going to be the next question, and as soon as I said that, I knew. But no, I don't recall. It was
for the right price. I still would pick it up.
Just the ceramic.
Yeah, because you would not believe some of the crap. I call it crap because it's missing certain things, but people will still pay what I think is a ridiculous price, you know, $20, $30. Not for ceramic, I'd ask more, but just like in general for some of the ornaments that I sell, it's knowing that they're vintage and there may be a piece missing. I've still been able to sell it, or even a lot of like Christmas village houses. Yeah, they have a chip out of it, but someone will still pay me $30, $40 for the house just because of what it is. And a lot of times they'll send me a message like, oh, my grandma or my grandpa had these up when we were kids, and I remember this one. I really want it. So I would say next time you see something like that, I would pick it up
and grab it.
Yeah, for the right price, of course.
I know I've seen people talk about them and, you know, resell them and pick them up, but they've always been in decent condition and had the lights. So that was the first one I've ever seen, whether it be in person or on a video, that was just a ceramic tree without the light.
That's weird. All the lights were gone.
Yeah.
Seems like someone took the time to remove them all.
Maybe they weren't working and they were going to try to redo it and then just gave up.
Yeah, who knows?
That's good to know that you're able to sell stuff that's like chipped. Because I don't do a lot of glass. I'm trying to get into more glass just because we have a lot of it around here. But it seems like I always find like one little tiny chip in it. And it's like, oh, I don't want to mess with it. So...
like there's certain things, if it has a chip in it, I will not pick up. But if it's unique enough and it's hard to find, then I will pick it up because there's always someone, and I always disclose that in the description saying, hey, there is a chip. I'm pointing right at the chip. So don't say that it's not, that you did not know it was there. And a lot of times I will confirm with someone when they do buy, like you did read the description, looked at the pictures, and they're like, oh yeah, I still want it. And I'm like, okay, at least we have that message, and eBay can go back and reference it if they decide to open a case against me or anything.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. If I have enough pictures left, I'll do like just the regular picture that I would do of that section of whatever the product is, then another one just a little bit closer, and another one just a little bit closer, and then draw a red circle around it. This
you have to.
A chip.
Yeah, and then they still don't see it, and you can write. I wrote in 3 different places we had an issue that it was an extra large, and this person messaged me and they went off on me because they thought it was a 1X, a plus size. And I'm like, no, it's an extra large. And I pointed out all the places that I said it was an extra large. And they still coming at me like, no, I would never buy an extra large. I'm like, well, you did.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I've had some shirts where they've been like large or extra large, but I look at them and there's no way. Like my son's a senior this year and he's going to college, and he's had a few colleges that were kind of pursuing him, and they'd send him their little care packets or introduction packets. Some of them had shirts, some of them just had a letter or whatever. But one of them had a shirt and it said extra large, and that thing was every bit of a medium. There was no way that thing was an extra large. I'd say that because I've picked up shirts before. Matter of fact, I have one now that's like an I think it's Ohio State, and it shows large, but the size of it is like a medium, unless it's a kid's large or something.
Oh.
But yeah, I'll disclose stuff like that because, I don't want anybody to return anything, much less clothing. Clothing is usually where people get a lot more picky.
Yeah.
And I've been fortunate so far. I've only had like a couple of, like a pair of jeans and I think a pair of shoes returned.
And for the jeans, you put you do the measurements, right?
I put what's on the, the tag, and if I notice on other listings that people are saying it's actually, like let's say if it's a 44 waist, it actually fits more like a 42 or it fits more like a 46. I'll do a little more research on it, or even go to like the manufacturer's website. I had a pair of jeans. I've been listing jeans the last 2-3 days because of all the denim that I bought a couple of weeks ago. I'm trying to think of the brand. I wasn't familiar with it, so it was the Gander Mountain. That's what it was. Gander Mountain, which I think most of those stores have closed. I don't know if you had those up there, the outdoor stores.
Yeah, I think they're all closed though.
I think Wrangler or Levi's, one of the two, must have made their jeans, and I couldn't find a whole lot of comps on it. And the comps that I did find for the size that I had, they said it fits like a 42 or whatever it was. I believe they were 42 32s, but people were saying it fit like a 40. So everybody is different, so it doesn't matter. You can have 3 people that wear 34s, and it's going to fit each one of them differently. Yeah. So clothes is always kind of a crapshoot,
I got out of clothes. I hated everything about it. I hated listing them. I would like cuss them out, looking at the pile I had, and then put them on the little half mannequins I had. And I just like, I freaking hate you. I hope you sell soon. And it's just like, why am I putting myself through this?
If I can get it cheap enough and it's easy to list, like jeans are pretty easy to list. Usually 9 pictures. If there's anything more that's wrong with it, I'll go ahead and use all 12. And golf shirts, like polos, I'll pick up those. And if it's a unique T-shirt, or I've yet to come across any of the old like single stitch, like old concert tees or anything like that.
Yeah, I never find those.
I'll glance. Like people always have a crap ton of clothes off to one side of their yard sale or whatever. And I'll just kind of go through and just, kind of like running your hands across a curtain, just running across the clothes just to see if anything pops out. If it does, I'll look at it a little closer. But if not, I kind of skip it and go for the smalls, the easy to ship stuff that is going to turn a better profit on it.
Hey, Jennifer Hayes is in the chat. Tina's in the chat. Hey, Tina. So Jennifer was asking where Chuck is, and Paul so graciously said that he was playing hide and seek. Yeah. Jennifer, I'm sorry, you're stuck with me for a little bit. Chuck is not feeling well. He thought he was starting to feel better, but he's not feeling well right now. So I'm sorry, you're stuck with me.
Well, Chuck, if it makes you feel better, you still look sexy, man.
Right.
So it's funny that, Nate, you say that you hate clothes, because when I first started reselling, I was not interested in doing clothes. I did not want to do clothes at all. And I would just try to sell whatever I could find in our area. So I did a lot of hard goods. And then I stumbled upon a garage sale that had really cheap, decent clothing. So I thought, I'm just going to try it. And it worked. And I found that clothing, especially women's clothing, is really easy for me. So I try to get away from it, and I try to go because I can make more money doing the hard goods. But I always find myself saying, but it's easy and I don't have to, I just put myself on autopilot when it comes to clothing. So I got it down to, it's easy and it's so easy to ship.
Yeah.
It is, but I don't know. Like, so now I will say if I find something unique, a t-shirt or something, I will still buy it. But I have less than 10 clothing items now in my store. So I just try to stay away from it. But I ended up getting to the point to where I was literally so my high bid auctions that I do, I was putting them on there, and whatever they went for, I did not even care because I just knew the clothing was out. And I don't know, it just makes me angry. I wish it didn't. I have anger issues with clothing for some reason. Because I guess it's because of all the questions I get, like all the time. Well, can you measure the sleeve?
Yeah.
Can you measure this? And I'm like, I'm selling it for $8. Just buy it.
That's what I had to, sorry.
I like never get messages about any of that.
I ordered this 2 weeks ago off of Amazon because people start asking for specific measurements, and this doesn't work quite as well. So I bought me one of the.
Yeah, I got tired of using that type of measuring tape too, because I'm just like, I have to go upstairs and get it because it's not one I keep down here, and it's just, I don't know. I have issues.
I don't mind it too much. You know, like I said, I bought all that denim 2 weekends ago where it averaged out to like 40 cents a pair for 28 pairs of jeans. And last weekend when I was out, I did find some more denim, but I was diligent enough, and the little voice in the back of my head told me, no, you don't have the ones listed that you have right now. So I've been spending the last few days listing the denim that I have.
Yeah, I have that voice
come across
so I ignore it.
Yeah. And I've actually sold some of it pretty quick too. I've sold 4 or 5 pair already. Listed like 16 the last 2 days.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I just suck at listing clothes because I had all the clothes that I would list would sit there forever, it seemed like, unless it was like really unique. But
yeah,
maybe I just suck at listing them. And that's okay if I do. But
well, like with the jeans, you know, I'm not trying to hit any home runs. You know, it's usually your staple brands, the Levi's, the Wranglers. I've learned stuff about jeans with this. I would not normally pick up like women's clothing or women's jeans, but like the Miss Me brand, I'm sure, you know, my wife knows. She's like, you better not be selling those for anything less than $50. Those are $100 pairs of jeans. I'm like, well, I'll see what they're comping for. I said, I paid, 40 cents, or I paid $2 or $5 for them. As long as I get at least 5 times my money back.
Yeah.
3 times at a minimum, then I'm good with whatever, especially if it's something that I've held on to for a while. I'll discount it just to get it out and get that money and put it towards something else. Yeah, she's the other extreme. She's got tape measures everywhere. She does clothing though, right?
Hi, Amber. Hi. Who else did I miss? Corey. Hi, Corey.
Jennifer Hayes says it's Ella's birthday.
Happy birthday, Ella.
Happy birthday, Ella.
I hope you had a good day.
Hi, Daz. Make sure I didn't miss anyone else. I think we're good.
Sea fish.
So what do you like to do if you're not, I guess, other than thrifting and I guess going looking for bargains and stuff, do you have any other hobbies that you and your wife like to do or you like to do?
Yeah, I mean, we'll try to get out and do different things. We've got a pretty big family as far as the both of us. We both had prior relationships, and we've kind of got the Brady Bunch thing going on. We have 6 kids between us. So there's usually something going on in our family somewhere, somehow, some way.
Yeah.
So whenever we're not out just doing stuff that we need to do, then we're spending time with family. Or like 2-3 years ago, I got my son to take up golf. We'll go play golf every once in a while. I like to do that. As far as hobbies, I have an on-again, off-again relationship with home brewing beer.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'll get real psyched up about it. And I've been doing this since 1990. Telling my age there.
So you were doing it before it was cool.
Yeah. And then it became a big boom, and I kind of got disinterested. And then my brother got interested in it, so I kind of got interested in it again and helped him along. But yeah, I'll go like 2-3 years without brewing anything, and I still have all my equipment. Most of it's back here behind there and in the garage. But yeah, then I'll brew like 6, 8, 10 batches within a 3-week time span, and then I won't brew again for 2 or 3 years. So that's the other.
I thought you were going to say 2 or 3 months, not 2 or 3 years.
No, I don't plan it that way. It just happens to go that way. I like to cook. I love to eat, obviously. I'm a larger person. We have a barbecue cook-off team.
Oh, that's cool.
And we do a little bit of catering here and there. We haven't done a whole lot of course, we missed everything last year. There was one that we did every year pretty religiously. It's out where my mom lives, up northwest of Waco, a little town called Clifton, Texas. They have a volunteer fire department, and they put on a pretty good barbecue cook-off every year right around the middle of April. I don't think they're doing the one this year. They did have to cancel last year's, but we kind of keep an eye on that. I have all my competition stuff out in the garage ready to go whenever we need to go. I don't have a trailer or anything. I have it's like a big safe. Best way to describe it. It's a backwoods smoker. They're made in Dixie, Louisiana. But it just looks like a big safe, and it's set up. The guy that I bought it from set it up on a frame that fits into your receiver hitch, and then it's got 4 corners with wheels, like you're like on a boat trailer.
Yeah,
you have that wheel up front, and you can roll it up. It goes up. I have that, and then they swivel up so that they don't drag the ground or anything while I'm in transit. And then whenever we get to where we're at, we pop the wheels down, roll them down, pull out away from the smoker, and there we are. We don't have to pull a trailer. Don't have to carry extra insurance on a trailer. I don't have to worry about 4 or 8 more tires on a trailer.
That's awesome.
And we can still get to we just throw a couple of 10x10s in the back of the truck, and a couple of 6-foot tables, a couple ice chests, and we're good.
I'm thinking that sounds good for garage sailing. That's what I need.
Yeah.
No, I think that's awesome. I used to have a concession trailer, and it was annoying meeting all the regulations and everything.
Yeah.
And then we ended up closing it down before everything, just because I was losing my passion in it. It was hard for me to. I mean, we made decent profit, but for the amount of time I was putting in, because there was some days between the smoking and the prepping, counting caterings, and then the events that we would do, I mean, it'd be 18, 20-hour days. And
easy. Especially if it's something big that you have to cook overnight, or all the prep work you have to do overnight, just so that you're ready to go at 11 o'clock in the morning. Or
like doing 3-day festivals and stuff.
Yep.
And like our first festival, this should have told me in the beginning to stop. But our first festival, the electric we hooked up to blew out all of our fuses and everything inside our trailer.
Oh no.
So we had to go buy extension cords, run them all the way to the other side of the fairground, and then we were using lanterns to light it up at night just to get by for that weekend. And it was terrible. And the festival was about an hour and a half away from my house. So I was driving that in the morning just to get down there and still have to prep for 2 or 3 hours before the start. And it was just like, that should have told me to stop at that point.
Wow. It's tough when you take something that you love to do, like say cooking or whatever, if you had your concession, obviously you like to cook.
Yeah.
And turn it into a source of income. Is a lot more scrutiny. I worry entirely too much. I know what I'm putting out, and I'm not trying to sound whatever. I'm not trying to pump myself up, but I know that I put out a good product, but I still worry every time, no matter what. I can cook 8 briskets, and each one of those will be done at a different time.
Yeah.
You got to be ready to, like, I did a little bit of catering in our neighborhood last year when the shutdowns first started, because you couldn't get anything at the grocery stores. You couldn't go to restaurants. They allowed food trucks to come in our neighborhood, and there was never a barbecue truck. So I just asked one of the HOA people. I was like, "Hey, can I do some barbecue?" I said, "I have a health certificate and everything. I can, but I'm just going to do it out of my house. I don't have a trailer." Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I posted the menu, what I was going to offer, and within 2 hours. This is on a Saturday night, and I was going to sell on a Sunday. Within 2 hours on Saturday night, I was sold out for Sunday already.
Wow.
That's
So
all.
that was great, but then all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, now do I have enough?
Yeah.
Do I need to go buy another brisket? Do I need to go buy? I was doing pork loins and sausage and something else. But yeah, so at that point it becomes, and of course it was doing a service to the neighborhood too, just for not people, for people not being able to get out. But I didn't sleep that night. Until we delivered the last tray, probably at, I'd say 12:30, 1 o'clock Sunday. I was like, that's it. I'm done. Said, put a fork in me. I'm going to go have a beer or 7 and take a nap.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work doing stuff that you like to do sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't good on my health because I just know I was probably drinking more than normal. During events, I was like, I'm going to have my little stash over here just to get through it, because the stress from some of the rude people you meet, not even criticizing, they're just plain rude, trying to negotiate your food prices. And it's like, this isn't a thrift store. Like, I think they're confused.
I've always said that too. It's John and Jane Doe. John Doe and Jane Doe, they all want something for, not all, but there's always that one couple, that one person, that 5 people in the crowd, whatever, that they're going to complain before they even get the food in their hands. They're going to complain about your prices, like you said. It's not Walmart. You can't put it on layaway. This is my prices. If you don't like it, fine. There's other food trailers or wherever. If you're at a festival, like you said, go to another truck. Go to another trailer.
I think I'm related
please
to
everybody.
those 5 people.
What's that?
I think I'm related to those 5 people.
Well, my better half is one of those 5 people too. So it's kind of a joke sometimes where we'll go to a restaurant and we'll all order something and hers will come out wrong, or it won't come out at the same time as all of ours.
Yes.
So she has to send it back, and all of us are eating ours still, and we're done by the time she gets her second round.
Yeah.
Or gets her, the remake. So we've never done it, but we've always said that we should just let her order first. Let her food come out. Make sure that it doesn't get sent back. If it gets sent back, then we can all order at the same time then.
So you're all eating at the same time.
Yeah, but my son and I eat so fast anyway that we could still catch up if we had to wait for ours to come in.
Yeah, I eat pretty fast too. My food doesn't last long.
Yeah,
it's
not going to get away from me. I don't let it get away. I don't give it a chance, unfortunately.
I don't. That's one thing. If my order's wrong, it's hard for me to let them know, because just I've worked in food in the past, and I don't want something to happen to my next meal or something.
Right.
Like, I'm like overly nice. I'm disgustingly nice towards people, where I'm just like, oh, thank you so much. Like, I know it's not right, but thank you.
And
I can't tell them because I have that fear that they're going to do something to my food, which I always have a fear that they're going to touch my food barehanded anyways, because I'm such a freak. But it's just a complete fear I live in all the time, because we went a few years ago, we went to the Dominican Republic, and the place we were staying, there's like no health laws when it comes to food handling, and they were all handling all the food barehanded. And my wife's like, are you really just not going to eat the entire time? Because it was the first day. And she goes, this is not America. Like, they don't care about what you feel like is going to make you sick. So I had to suck it up. I did have stomach issues that entire week, but I don't know if it was all in my head or not. But it was very traumatizing to me, knowing that they were touching my food, preparing it with not washing their hands or anything. So
just order everything well done.
Yeah. I'm like, just burn it.
Burn it. Burn it, double fry it, whatever you got to do. Just get it done and bring it out to me. I'll attempt to eat it. Otherwise, keep the drinks coming.
I think we had a question, Keith.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't been keeping up with the chat. I'm sorry.
Let me scroll up.
Here. And Josh is here too, the garbage monster.
What's that?
Oh, the garbage monster, Josh.
Oh yeah.
Was in the chat, and Nissa, Flippin' Funky.
Oh, okay. I thought you said there was some questions. I was trying to go back through. I don't see anything.
Yeah, I saw. Oh, here we go. My journey is not your journey. Asked me and you, Keith, that what is your favorite thing to grill?
Me?
Yeah, both of us. Yes.
Usually whatever's on sale. But no, I like a good steak. I rarely will order a steak out at a restaurant, just because unless it's and we don't go to like really nice fancy steak restaurants, at least not for any. Yeah, my wife goes every once in a while because the office she works with, they have speaker dinners. But
nice.
yeah, I like a really good steak as far as grilling, but I'm good with a burger or hot dogs, fajitas, whatever.
Nice. I don't grill anymore. And we're vegetarians, and we have been for almost 2 years. So I just don't do much grilling. If I do it, I'm sure people would not like what I grill because it's either like veggie burgers or veggie hot dogs. And
Yeah.
I know some people don't like it, but to me, I mean, it tastes really good, especially the Impossible meat they came out with.
Yeah.
But, that's just, I don't condemn anyone that eats meat because I used to. So people that go on a high horse or anything like that.
My brother-in-law asked me to cook for my sister-in-law for her birthday a couple of years ago. And one of my niece's friends was vegetarian, like newly vegetarian. So she's like, Uncle Keith, can you come up with something for her? I know you're grilling hot dogs and hamburgers, which it was just a plain, simple thing like that.
Yeah.
So I Googled, because she didn't want the tofu dogs or tofurkey or whatever you get at the grocery stores.
Yeah.
And I found something where you like marinate carrots in a bunch of different seasonings and spices.
Oh, yeah.
And you grill them and they come out like a hot dog. And she loved it. She ate like 3 of them.
Now, I just want to say that I've tried something like that.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of it, so I just stay away from that. But I know one of my cousins, he's strictly vegan, and he eats those carrot dogs. I'm just like, more power to you, man.
Right.
Like, I just can't do it.
The only thing that I was probably out of bounds on was that I was cooking it on the same grill that meat products are cooked on, right? So I didn't bring a separate grill for the carrot dogs, but it was over 140 degrees, so anything was on there was burned off.
Yeah. My brother-in-law was actually nice because I don't ask anyone to cook us anything because I don't want to be inconvenienced. It's my choice, our family's choice, and we'll bring our own stuff and just heat it up or just eat it the way it is.
Yep.
And my brother-in-law is like, no, because he's a big grill person and he's a really good cook, but he doesn't want to start selling his food because he would lose that passion for it.
Right. And I completely understand that.
Yeah. And he actually brought a separate grill to cook our stuff on, which I thought was like, I'm like, what are you doing?
You fit in frame. What are you trying to do? Mess with your camera?
Sure. I can't leave well enough alone. Style.
Fidgeting. I can move that. I can move mine around.
Hi, everyone.
I went to the same backdrop store that you did, and I got my banner color back here.
You went with the red. I went with blue.
Yeah.
Nate, you need the white one.
That was nice.
Yeah, I went to Ross trying to find something cheap, and they didn't have anything other than the full sets, like the whole bedding set. I just wanted like a king size flat sheet, and I couldn't find anything. So I think Tuesday I ordered this maroon one on Amazon, and it was here yesterday. So I was like, cool, I've got the backdrop for the show. Y'all don't have to look at my junk behind me here, my bins and my boxes.
So I want to tell everyone what was going on with me, and I apologize to my co-host. I apologize to you, Keith.
No problem.
I am subject to panic attacks, and I have these weird digestive issues that no one can figure out. And once that's triggered, I go into a panic attack because it feels like I'm having a heart attack, and everything my head throbs and everything throbs.
Yeah.
And I kind of freak out. And it wasn't because of the show or anything. It was just because I had a little piece of something get stuck in here, and it radiates out, and it's freaky. That's where I was.
It was a cookie.
It was a cookie. Or a vegetable. It could have been a vegetable, but it was probably a
It was a cookie.
I'm glad you're here, though, Chuck.
Yeah, sorry that you're going through that, but
And don't ever apologize for anything like that, man.
No, y'all can just reschedule me.
Keeps coming and go. Well, we'll gladly reschedule you anyway, Keith.
No, I'm good. Like I said, I was actually kind of. I know I kind of hinted, but I was actually kind of surprised that y'all asked me on.
Wait a minute. I just said we'll gladly reschedule, and you're like, no, I'm good.
No, you can do it. I was just messing around.
Yeah, Alyssa, real quick, for what you said to me, I do think about the movies waiting and still waiting when it comes to food.
Oh, yeah.
I actually have seen that from places I've worked that other employees have done, and it has traumatized me as a person.
I back in the late 90s, I went through a management training program at Bennigan's. And basically that's where that waiting movie was shot, was at a Bennigan's. They just made it into whatever they called their restaurant. And the thing, I only worked there for like 7 months. But the things that you see that go on behind, I worked at 3 different locations also while I was going through all that training. One of them was great, but the other 2, yeah, you don't want to know what goes on behind closed doors or behind the swinging doors.
Yeah, it's like we had some people that were at the previous place when I first started working, and we had some people that just did not care if what, cross-contamination and stuff. And I'm like, what you guys don't care about, and I understand this is just another job because they're not paying you worth of crap, but at the same time, you could kill someone. Like,
yeah,
you got to be careful.
Yeah, if not with a food allergy, it just like you said, the cross-contamination is just alone.
Yeah.
And if stuff not, if you're crossing a cook, something that you're holding that's cooked over 140 and it is getting crossed with something that's under 140, that's raw, no.
Yeah.
No bueno. Or like I used to see, and I was in the beer business, that if just in case you guys are going to ask me my history, and I think I may have mentioned this on my show the other night, but I was in a beer business from 86 to 97. And some of the restaurants that you go in, a lot of them we have to deliver through the back. And some of that stuff you see that goes on in the kitchens, you're like, no. I learned a lot of places not to eat, which was unfortunate because a couple of them were our favorites at the time. But yeah, they'll go to the back and which you worked in a restaurant, and I see some of the other people mentioned on here, they've worked in restaurants. Like you have your holding station right back in the very back where you're like your sink, your mops, everything for cleaning, your sanitation station is in the back, right? Yeah. So you have a spill out front or a spill in the kitchen or something like that. So I'm going to go back there and grab a mop instead of the whole mop bucket and roll it out. They'll grab the mop. So the mop's dripping. Meanwhile, they've got trays of uncooked food lined up along. This was at I'm not going to say. I don't want to offend anybody, but it was at a restaurant. And yeah, they're dragging this mop or holding the mop, and as they're walking, stuff is dripping off the mop into the uncooked food. I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah.
So you want to go outside and tell the people eating in the restaurant, don't order the mop noodle soup. It's not good.
Our worst story was one of our favorite restaurants. I won't even say the kind of restaurant it was.
That's why I didn't want to say that either. I don't want to offend anybody.
But they had someone out prepping food in a booth. And I'm not sure why they were sitting at a booth prepping uncooked.
Oh, out in the dining area.
In the dining area.
Awesome.
But that person also went into the bathroom to unclog a toilet, came out of the bathroom without washing their hands, and went back to prepping the food. And we just walked out, right? Didn't we just get up and say, we're done?
Yeah.
We never went there again. It was just like, you got to be kidding me. We were in shock. We didn't even say anything to anyone. We're like, we paid, but I mean, we got to get out of here.
Yeah. I have, like you were saying earlier, Nate, I'm kind of the same way where I don't want to offend anybody. I don't want to tick the wait staff off. I don't want to tick the manager off. just for fear of they may do something in retaliation to your food. But at the same time, there's been things that have happened similar to like that, Chuck, where I'm just like, no, I'm out. I'm done. And recently, we went to a little place down the road from us. I'm sure there's a lot. There's probably some similar up near you guys, but there's all these restaurants popping out there called Draft or Tapped or whatever. And their big deal is pub food, and they got 38 taps across the back wall. Well, it was one of those places. I think it was called the Draft Room or something like that. Supposedly good food. And I think my wife had eaten there before, and possibly my son. And, I had never been, so we just decided to go. It was like a Sunday night or something. Didn't want to cook dinner. And I ordered. What did I order first? I know what I ordered second, but I'm trying to think of what I ordered. Oh, I ordered a Philly cheesesteak first. Pub food. Texas is not known for its Philly cheesesteaks, but this thing comes out, and it looked like a Philly cheesesteak. And when I took a bite, I was like, wait a minute, that's not cheese. It was meat and mayonnaise. And I do not like mayonnaise. I'm one of those people. Sent that back.
Cheesesteak?
So then I ordered like their version of the Juicy Lucy, which I think that's a northern thing. I think maybe it was invented in Minnesota, where you take it's like 2 hamburger patties, you put the cheese inside, and it melts as it cooks inside the hamburger patty. So it was something similar to that. And I bring that out, and it's 800 degrees. I take a bite of it, and that stuff just squirts immediately all over me. So I get scalding cheese on my chest, and I think I'd just been brought a second beer or whatever.
I didn't know this.
We got on my wife's car, and she has like the little remote start thing, and it was just right outside the door. I said, "Start the car, unlock it. I'm going in the car. You guys can finish your dinner. I'm out." That's 2 things that they can't get right, and I'm out.
I'm like you. I would rather leave than ask for like a free meal or anything like that.
And it was not the wait staff. It was a young lady that was waiting on us, and it was not her fault. And she even said, it was like her first or second day. And I even told my wife, I said, make sure she knows that it's not her fault. But if I stay inside, I'm going to blow up, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going out to the car, and I just left. They finished their dinner, and I think I had about 3/4 of a beer left. So they brought my beer out in a styrofoam cup. So I at least got to finish my beer on the way home. Had a grilled cheese, I think, when I got home.
Hey, anybody that I gave a moderator wrench to, please go ahead and post your links.
Absolutely.
Nissa, I'm talking to you. Nissa has the best under 1,000 channel besides everyone else. Seriously, Nissa has a fantastic channel. She cracks me up. Her and her husband are just fun to hang out with. So she would post her link. I think everyone in here should consider checking her out.
Yeah.
What's their channel name?
Flippin' Funky. She's up on the
Oh, okay. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm on theirs.
And hey, I see Paul, Philly Flipper, is still in the house.
Cool.
So I asked Paul, the Philly Flipper, I was watching his show the other day. Shut up. And he had this little ticker going down underneath saying, if you subscribe, you'll be like 98% cooler or something. That's false advertising. Paul, I'm still a dork, so it didn't work.
That's cool, though. On his video,
Yeah.
so it's like a scroll, like a ticker at the bottom.
Yeah, I don't know how you do that.
I don't know.
I think you have to pay for it. I think you have to have the paid version of StreamYard.
Oh, he's fancy then. Screw
I
that.
try to learn
I
something
just
new.
subbed to you, Flippin' Funky. I'll check out your channel tonight.
I try to learn something new every week with videos.
And reselling roller coasters. Look at all these people that are here.
I know it's great.
I have another new friend in
Hey,
here.
Dina.
Hold on. I started talking before I knew what the end of my sentence was going to be. You ever do that? Just trail off. Yes, Rat Stash. That's another one. Please post your link. I don't know if I made you a moderator yet. Say something, Rat Stash, so I can make you a moderator.
Yeah,
There's a lot of good smaller channels, and I know we've all talked about this before on different shows that we've been on, or different chats of different shows that we've been on. A lot of the smaller shows or smaller resellers have just as much information. They just may not have been doing YouTube for a while. They may have been reselling for quite a while. And regardless if it's entertaining, if they're there to sing and dance for you, that doesn't matter. But if they're giving you good information, that's where, that's kind of what hooks me as well. Especially if it's something that I need to learn about, that I want to know, something I want to add to my arsenal of what to look for when I'm out and about.
Yeah, I've learned so much from YouTube, between resellers teaching me different things to look for, to just knowing how to put things together and fix things. Like,
YouTube University.
I do everything through YouTube.
Yeah, I've changed brakes on my car, fixed my sink, garbage disposal,
Big Brother at the auction,
lawnmower. Yeah, you just look it up on YouTube University.
Exactly.
One thing, before I forget about this, and we're just talking about small channels and whatnot, I popped over to yours, Nate, real quick, just to see if you had anything new before I came on tonight, just if we had anything else different to talk about. I noticed at the time you had 178 subscribers. I had 178 subscribers. And I looked at Chuck and he had 356, which he has 359 now, at least what I'm looking on the screen. But I thought that was kind of peculiar, because 178 and 178 is 356.
Thank you for doing the math, because I was like, what's the significance of that?
That's kind of those alliteration type things, or just kind of weird tweaks in the universe.
Too, I'm like, where is this going with these numbers? I hope he doesn't.
Yeah, no, right now. I don't look for things like that, but I just happen to notice it. Like I'm the guy that'll watch a movie and I see what's going on in the background. Wait a minute. Or you notice something else off in the distance instead of the main character or whatever. But yeah, I just happened to notice that Nate had 178 subscribers. I thought you had more, honestly. And I'm sitting here pointing at the screen. I thought you had more, honestly. But yeah, 178, and I had 178, and Chuck 356.
I have a problem, or have had a problem. I've been trying to get out of it, to where I disappear, and I don't mean to, but it's just a whole mental thing for me.
No, that's understandable.
There was a couple of months early on, I guess 2020. After starting, I disappeared, and then I disappeared at the end of 2020. But I've been focusing on myself, trying not to let that happen, because it stunts my channel's growth, and I feel like the making videos actually helps with all my other issues I deal with. So I need to I try to stay focused on it.
And I'm part-time. You're part-time, correct? And Chuck is part-time.
Yep.
And Marcy.
Marcy's full-time.
So yeah, I have a goal to put out at least 2, a haul video and a what's sold. And if I'm happen to be packaging up something that's a little different or difficult, much like I thought of that mug the other day when I did the mug video on St. Patrick's Day, because I'd seen it before too. I was like, well, okay, I just sold a mug. How do I do this? And I looked up on YouTube and I found somebody's channel. Yeah. I wish I could give them credit, but I don't recall who it was. And they're just like, bubble wrap, bubble wrap, bubble wrap, bubble wrap. And when you don't think you've used enough bubble wrap, use some more bubble wrap.
Exactly.
So yeah, and cover that handle. That handle is always the first piece that's susceptible, because it's just out there by itself, So double wrap that handle for sure, if not triple or quadruple, and then make sure everything is centered in the box that you put it in. Don't put it against one wall. Don't put it against this wall. And it may be common knowledge for some people, but there's somebody out there that is just starting. There was a young lady that was on the Angie and Bobby show last night. She's been selling on other platforms, but she hadn't sold on eBay yet. And she was asking a lot of questions, and a lot of people were giving advice, and there's going to be somebody somewhere out there that is looking for a particular video on how to do this, or what products do I need to be looking for, or this, that, and the other. And they may stumble upon your video. I'm not putting it out there to gain 80 subscribers because I know how to ship a mug. There's 7,000 other people, if not more, that know how to ship a mug. But you never know whose personality they're going to mesh with, or whose presentation they'll like more than somebody else's.
Exactly.
And I feel like just everything that I've learned from other YouTubers and resellers is that give back, pay it forward. If you've learned something from one of us, then take that information and pass it along to the next person. So it may be a repetitive video. I try not to copy anybody, other than Art Vandelay with his outtakes on my videos, but again, I think it's just a matter of style and presentation. Just somebody may like the way somebody or does their video, and somebody may like the way that I do my video, over edited and dry sarcastic humor.
I love it. I love your humor.
I try not to let two of it go, and I've been kind of trained, I guess, over the last several years, because although I know my family loves me, my sarcasm gets the better of me sometimes, and I would probably not have the few friends that I do have, because if I would say something wrong or let something fly that I think is funny, a lot of people don't take it funny. So yeah, I reel a lot in. There's a lot of self-editing going on up here with the couple of hamsters and rubber bands that are left in there. That, every once in a while, they put the brakes on. They know how to stop the stuff from coming out of my mouth and offending somebody.
It looks like Corey had a question for me. Corey, I've been on YouTube. It said my account was created like a couple years ago, but I never did anything with it because I was one of those YouTubers where the first video was intimidating. Like, I don't want to look stupid putting my first video out there, but I actually started. I think my first video was back in March or April of 2020.
Yeah. I think I had started in December of 2019, and I'd put a few out. I mean, they were very crude, very, no editing whatsoever. I don't even think I was using any kind of software. I was just, recording the stuff on my phone, and I think I was using YouTube to put it together. So a lot of jerk stuff, stop motion, one scene to the next, and, volume at 78 here, volume at 3 down here.
But at least you did it, though. Yeah,
but then when everything hit as far as the quarantine stuff, I was like, well, it's not that important right now. So what I did was take all my videos down, but I didn't get rid of my channel. And I still have the hours from those videos, which it wasn't much. I'm still under 200 hours. But when I picked it back up in October, a lot of those subscribers were still there, and a lot of them said, "Hey, we wondered what happened to you." And I was like, "Well, I just didn't feel like it." With everything else that was going on, that was the least important thing, was putting out YouTube content, especially somebody that had just started doing it. So, but I've gotten back into it, and I like it. I become a little more comfortable with each video. At least, I don't know. I kind of think I do. It depends on the day. That's with any job, or I'll have good days at work. I have bad days at work. I'll have good days trying to make videos, and I'll have bad days trying to make videos.
I've made so many videos that never got posted because my energy is just so
bad. I think the last one I put out, well, the haul video, because of like the footage from the haul. I still haven't used my little FoPro camera. I keep looking over here. It's over here somewhere. But anyway, I did try to use my phone at the estate sale just to kind of show the overwhelming amount of stuff that was in this house. So I had all that footage from the different garage sales and the estate sale that I went to, but then I had to do an intro and an outro. Well, that was done, like Monday or Tuesday, and my energy level was just, hey, I went to, just go back and watch it. Go back and watch the last one. The energy level's not there. I'm just kind of blindly looking into the camera.
Yeah.
I want to say hi to Paul and Papa Bear Resales, my Paul and Papa Bear Resales, and everyone else that has, and
absolutely.
And Joe, yes, thanks Joe for coming in. Everyone, I think, is a moderator now, so if you want to post your link, go ahead. What are you laughing at? Don't you laugh at me?
My bad, man.
I see a lot of familiar names, but I see a lot of newer ones too, so I'm about to go check some of these other ones out as well.
Dina, I just want to say you should have expected not to find much in the thrift stores up here, because I made sure to take everything valuable out of there before you came up here.
Sweet.
You're just OCD that way, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, that'll sell. Got to collect them all, man.
Yeah, high bid can be awesome. There's been times, though, in some of my videos you'll see where I bid on a ton of stuff and I put my max bid on there, and then some of them disappear, and we got to drive a long way for our high bid wins. So
oh wow,
one or two, and I'm hoping, I'm praying, I'm like, please outbid me, because I don't want to drive all that way for a couple items. And
especially if that's like one of the few that you win, right?
Yes.
I haven't gotten onto high bid yet. I when was it the nurse flipper Kat, when she first started talking about it, I pulled up the website and I really didn't understand how it all worked. Now I'm kind of getting a little more information just from different resellers such as yourself and others that use high bid, to where I may take a look at it. But I mean, I'm in a suburb of a major metropolitan area, so it's really not too hard to find something to thrift or resell, or to go to a yard sale, garage sale, Facebook Marketplace, online classifieds that are all just within a 5-10 mile drive from me.
How about you?
I don't live in a huge city, but it's about 100, and with the students in town, it's about 120,000 people, I think. But
Yeah,
there's always some place to go or somewhere to thrift, so I'm thankful for that. I don't have to drive too far. You guys want to know something terrible, though? So,
yes.
oh, go ahead, Chuck. What?
yeah. If it's a train wreck, let's go.
I want to know something terrible.
Okay, so last night I get excited. I get a lead that there's an auction house in a town just north of me, about 30 minutes away. They're selling a bunch of furniture and stuff, and I'm like, I'm looking for a couple of stand-up desk and then a gamer chair. So I'm like, I found the gamer chair. I found 2 stand-up desks. They actually put the title as full desk in their listings. The chair was supposed to be, I mean, everything looked like it was brand new in the box. They said it was brand new in the box. So I bid on everything. So I won on the 3 that I bid on, the 2 desk and the chair. So $150. So it was about $50 after tax and everything a piece. So I drive up there today, bring it back home, and I'm like, man, these desks does not seem like it would be a full desk in there with the legs and everything. So I opened it up, and both desks is just the table part. No legs, nothing. The gamer chair, I'm like, well, at least this looks nice, and then I can sell the surface, because the desks are good brand. It's like Flexi Spot, I think. So the surface area I can sell. I'll be fine. I was just annoyed that I drove that, 30 minutes away. So an hour of my day is gone.
Yeah.
Because of this auction. So then I'm putting the chair together and realize the box was taped up terribly. And I was like, it has to have missing pieces. So I'm putting the chair together and it's all busted on one of the sides. And I'm just like, why wouldn't you disclose that? That's all I ask is, hey, it's missing parts or something. It's not truly new. Because to me, it looks like through their auction. And I've been to this auction house several times in the past. And I won't go again for furniture or anything because they piss me off over it. But it's one of those things where it's like, just say, hey, this is just the table, top of the desk, or the side of the chair's busted. Like, that's all you got to do. And it looks like I bought, and everyone else there bought a bunch of pallet returns. So it's just frustrating.
I'm kind of like, I'll shop for stuff online, but I still want to go see it before I give money for anything. And same way at garage sales, but sometimes I'll pick something up and I'm like, okay, I know that's got value and they've got a great price on it. So I want to get it. So I got it. I had a vague idea of what this was. I knew it had to do something with trailers, and it's a trailer coupler or a lock for a trailer.
Oh, yeah.
Stupid me, I saw the $4 on there, and it's in the little plastic clamshell thing, right?
Yeah.
But it didn't have a card or anything like that. And I just kind of pulled there's some words on here that are kind of imprinted in there, and I just looked those up and saw the comps, 40, 50, 60 bucks, 70 bucks. I was like, okay, great. So I bought it, $4. Not even thinking. There's a little thing right here that you need a key for. And there was no keys with it. But I paid $4 for it. So, yeah, I think I've wasted $4 unless there's a locksmith. There might be a locksmith that knows how to. It's kind of like those vending keys if you ever opened a vending machine or anything like that. So, yeah.
So I know around my area. So I bought, what was it? Last year we went because I'm a simple person. When it comes to my birthday, I don't want like any attention
Same.
on me for my birthday.
Yeah.
But and
Just
all I
another
want
day.
to do for my birthday, which may sound lame to some people, but I just like to go to garage sales and maybe thrift stores, and I'm happy. So we went to a thrift store and we found I was looking for a vintage gumball machine, and I found one that actually worked and everything. The lady let us test it there in the store. And I go, before I buy this, there are keys for it, right? And she goes, oh, yeah. So I bought it, and I get to the car. My wife's like, you forgot to get the keys. So I went back in there to get the keys, and they had no keys for it. And she goes, well, it's about 4 feet tall. And
Is it like the big globe ones, or is it the
not a
rectangle?
globe one. It's like the rectangle ones.
Okay.
And it was only $95.
That's not bad.
No, and usually around here, they're a lot higher. They're usually around 150 or more. Even at auctions, they go high because they're so highly collectible. And the lady's like, well, do you still want it? And I go, well, as long as I can get a locksmith to give me a set of keys. And I know there's a locksmith in town that's able to do that for me. So I still haven't taken it there because I'm just a procrastinator when it comes to stuff like that. But eventually I'll take it there. But I would call a locksmith and see if they can help you out.
Yeah, and I went ahead and listed it on eBay just for now. I'd put it like a $16.99.
Yeah.
Obviously that's way cheaper than anything else. And I put the note, no keys. But yeah, I may look into that. There's a place I used to have like a gooseneck trailer years ago, not too long, 15 years ago or so. And the place there, I think they sold different kinds of locks like this because I had to get a particular one for the gooseneck trailer that's like a whole like undercarriage slide thing that you have to loop a bolt through and all that. So I'm just, if nothing else, I could call them because I know they're still in business. They're just right up the road and see if they know of anything, since that is like a trailer locking device.
I'm sure there's someone that can help you, but the problem is paying for it, and then how much more do you have to go and
Right.
to sell it?
Especially if he's got an hourly rate and all that. I mean, if it's
Yeah.
something he can just go blip blip and charge me $20, then yeah, it's worth it. But yeah, if he's going to charge me $60 an hour and then another 20, 25 to rekey and all that, then that's already above what it's worth on eBay or what it's selling for on eBay. So I may just have a $4 paperweight for now.
And that's my big thing with my gumball machine is when I called around, I made sure I told them, like, I don't want to spend much money. Like, I know you probably don't want to hear this as a business. I understand, but I go, if it's something easy, I'm all for it for $30 or so. But if it's going to be a lot more expensive, I'll just keep it sitting in the corner because it looks cool. So
yeah,
I'm not too worried about actually having gum in it or anything.
We've had one of the smaller like globe ones.
Yeah.
Maybe hold like 50, maybe 75 gumballs, something like that, the big ones. And years ago, my parents had a vending business where we had like, soda machines or pop machines, whatever you guys call them. We call them Coke machines, and snack machines. So, they had all those same kind of keys. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, crap. It looks familiar, but yeah, I'm sure there's, 7, I don't know. There's probably too many combinations to, and I think my mom still has a bunch of those old keys, but I'm sure none of them fit it.
Yeah.
It just reminded me of that. It reminded me of vending machine when I saw that. The key.
It's one of those circular ones with the notch.
Yeah, you had just stepped away, Chuck. It's a trailer lock.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So this thing, it's like a U-bolt, but it looks more like a V. And then there's a key right there that releases the lock. And I don't have that key.
Gotcha.
This was in a clamshell, and it was $4, but it had no brand card or anything like that in there. And I didn't think to ask for the key. So that was bad on me, but it was something new. I'd never bought that particular kind of a trailer lock before. Like I said, I have one, but it's not like that. So I didn't even think about asking for a key. I just saw comps, $40, $50, $60. Cool, $4, I'll take it.
It sounds like you were blinded like I get at times where I'm just like, I got to get it. And then I look at it, I'm like, maybe I should have waited.
Yeah. I can do something with it maybe, but I've got
Yeah.
friends and family that have trailers. They can, if they want it, they can have it, and if they want to go have it rekeyed and save them some money, they can do that.
Let them figure it out.
Yeah. So somebody figured out the little scrolling thing at the bottom, huh?
It was me.
Okay.
How'd
Is it
you
right
do
on
that? I thought you had to
StreamYard's
pay
page?
for that.
Oh no.
Okay, cool. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
over on the right side when you're looking at StreamYard, it's got the comments tab, and then there's banners and brand and private chat.
Okay.
Right under comments is banners. You hit banners, then you have to add banner, and you type it in, and then you click on show.
Nice. Okay, well, that's good to know because I'm hosting our show Monday night, so I may do that.
I am going to have to do that next week, Chuck.
Yes, you will. Say nice things.
Oh,
Like
I will.
I do.
Yeah, Big Brother at the auction. You're absolutely right. He's like, sometimes we pay for our mistakes, consider it an education, and that's absolutely true.
Are we buffering for anyone else? Perfecting Pearl says we're buffering a little bit.
I don't see it on the YouTube side, and StreamYard obviously is what 4, 5, 6 seconds ahead.
It looks good on my side. Chuck.
Yes.
So for Flipping Funky, do you pronounce her name Nessa or
Nissa.
Nessa? Okay.
Nissa, like Nissa kind of, but it's NY. Like Lissa Morris.
So
Nissa.
Nissa then.
Nissa.
Nessa. I'm sorry, guys. I'm terrible. I was just going to comment on their comment talking about how they're bidding on 2 vehicles and it's a gamble.
I'm hoping one of them works. Yeah.
I bought a vehicle one year at an auction for us to drive personally, and the deal was way too good to be true. I knew I should have looked inside the vehicle because there was a major part that was sitting inside there, and the vehicle would not even drive home, even though they said, "Oh yeah, they drove it in, it's perfect." And
really,
as soon as we got in it, it was overheating. And then my buddy of mine that fixes a lot of my vehicles was like, "Why did you buy this turd, dude? Seriously, why didn't you take me?" And I'm like, "Because I felt independent and thought I could do it." And so the vehicle ended up falling apart. I was literally driving down the highway not even a year later, and literally pieces of the bottom of my car started falling off. And I had to pull over, and there were fluids going everywhere. And I ended up selling it for $300. It was bad.
Basically scrap, right?
Yeah, and it was not even worth the $300.
Cars for kids.
Yeah, it was terrible. So I hope you have better luck than I have, which I don't have very good luck with vehicles, but that's on me.
Yeah, I don't like taking chances on cars. Fortunately, a guy that I worked with in the beer business years ago, he is the used car sales manager and has been for the last 20 years or so since we left the beer business at a local car dealership here. So the last 3 or 4 cars that we've bought has been through him and his dealerships. So we know we're getting a decent deal. We're not getting hosed, and
that's good.
They give us a pretty good deal on maintenance plans and everything, especially like when I just got off the road back in 2012. I was a truck driver prior, so I was gone a lot. And so, we always had to make sure that my wife had a good, decent running car. She never had to drive far for work. I think the farthest she ever had to drive was maybe 15 miles. And the last house that we lived in prior to this one, she was literally a quarter of a mile from her office. So never really any issues during the week, but she does drive a lot on the weekends or if we go visit friends and family.
Yeah.
Just wanted her to make sure that she had a decent running car while I was gone. And knock on wood, and unfortunately this desk is wood or particle board or something. We haven't had any major issues, and then that we do have a friend in the car business, which a lot of people do get hosed, and I know car salesmen have a bad reputation. But I have a couple of pretty good friends that are car salesmen, and then him, who's a sales manager that I thoroughly trust, that I don't have to worry about, getting the wool pulled over us.
Yeah. It's nice to have someone to trust. The car we have now is good, but it's really tiny. So we're looking to get a van. I always told my wife that I wanted to get a creepy white van and then put my logo on the side of it.
Yeah.
I don't think everyone else is on board like I am with that.
Every the last few cars that we bought, they've all been 2 to 4 years old, I think. And then we just bought our first new car since my wife and I have been together. She wanted something new, and why not? So we're in debt up to here now instead of just here.
Nice going.
But so we've got that, and then my truck is 7 years old. My son's truck is 8 years old, 9 years old. So I don't know. We were going to try to get him upgraded maybe before he goes away to college, but his little vehicle runs pretty good right now.
Have a good night, Jen. I just saw you were leaving.
Yeah, she's got her show at about 4 or 5 minutes from now. She is interviewing. What's the lady's name from Alabama? She was on with you and Derek, I think, before, or not Derek. Chuck, you were on Fundamentals of Side Hustling.
Michelle.
Regina.
Regina
Michelle.
Regina Michelle. Thank you.
Yep. She's Jen is doing a show with her this evening.
Oh, they're great people too.
Yeah.
I'd like to see you guys go, but if you have to leave,
that's a good reason. Yeah, I told her too. I think I messaged earlier on the little thumbnail that came up. It's like, hey, I'm a guest on Chuck and Nate's show tonight, but as soon as we're done, I'll definitely come over and check y'all out because I like watching both of their content.
When it's theirs over, we can marathon this one.
Right.
Sorry, Keith.
Keep going. Hey, yeah, where's the list of questions, man? Y'all have pulled a couple for me. Where's the rest of them?
What are your stats, Keith?
What are my stats? Which stats do you want? Height, weight, batting average?
How tall are you?
6'1", 6'1.5". Used to be. I'm probably 6 foot on a good day now.
Yeah, I'm going that direction too.
I am older, yeah. But right around there, 6'1". And prior to COVID, I had gotten down in the 270s weight-wise, which that was still not a proud moment because I used to run and stuff, and I was like in upper 220s, 230, 235 when I was running like 5Ks and 10Ks and stuff. But yeah, so I'd lost 56 pounds prior to COVID. Then COVID hit, and we learned how to make New York style pizza really good at home. And we're doing that like twice a week. And I just gave up on the diet that I was on. So I gained a lot of that back. But I'm still my sub counter machine like you have, Chuck, it has a higher number on it than yours does. Even though it doesn't correlate to my sub count.
You're heavier than I am?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't
not by much. Not by much.
Must
Maybe
all be
by less than 2 handfuls.
there. It's all in your hands. Look at the size of your hands. Oh, look, mine look big too, though. It's all brains, I bet you.
Right.
People that if anyone just joined just then, they're like, did they take edibles? We're just like.
You have some?
Yeah.
We're in a non cannabis friendly state, so.
So are we. We are surrounded by cannabis friendly states, but we will still arrest you here in Indiana.
Right.
I don't even know if we're not legal here, are we?
Wisconsin.
I don't even know.
I don't know.
I mean, I think Texas has limited medical marijuana, just for certain. I don't know, certain things, glaucoma or whatever, but or PTSD. I think they also prescribe it for that. But
you just had someone get busted with 1,200 pounds in their van.
Wow.
Oh my god.
I'm just like,
they must have glaucoma really bad.
Well, I have a feeling they were a mule because they were originally from California.
Yeah.
And the cops thought they were acting suspicious and searched the van and had all these boxes, and inside of them had all the pounds wrapped up in trash bags and taped up. And I'm just like, man, you are brave. I mean, I'm surprised you got to Indiana without getting pulled over.
A lot of that goes on down here, just because we're close to the Mexican border. So, and it's usually stuff, heavier than marijuana. Although a lot of marijuana does get confiscated and busted, but they'll make it into the States. I've even seen busts like in Oklahoma or whatever, and they had made it from, you know, Reynosa or somewhere in Mexico all the way through Texas and got up into Oklahoma. They probably thought they were home free, but yeah, then they get busted for it. But yeah, there's a lot of cocaine, a lot of other illegal substances that come across the border, whether it be in a truck, a car, a van, on somebody's person, in somebody's person. Yeah, that it's a shame that has to be an industry, but it is.
Oh my gosh.
We'll do more.
What's that?
I was answering Maul. They said, Nate, just come next door to Illinois and visit for a while.
Yeah, Big Brother at the auction. I think maybe you're talking about that estate sale that I was just at. He said it sucks that I couldn't buy a room or two. That house was so jam-packed full of stuff in the garage and the yard. And really just the footage I got with my phone, that did not do it justice, because I'm slightly claustrophobic. I'm okay as long as I know I have an out somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, just the stuff alone. I mean, you get 6 people in the living room with all the shelving and everything that they had in there that was just chock full of stuff. I was having to step out a lot just to go take a breath and then come back in and find some other stuff. But if I'd have had the time and the money, and I knew there was enough quality merchandise in one particular room, I absolutely would have, you know, said, hey, can I give you $500 for all this? You know, or $400 or $300. I don't think I had $500. I was even talking to Danny about it, Pico Resellers. I had messaged him right after I left there, and I was, you wouldn't believe the estate sale I just came through, or just went through. And he's like, you know, was there stuff to buy? Could you buy like rooms or anything like that? And I said, well, yeah, probably, but it was just so overwhelming. He said, man, you should have hit me up or something. I'd have floated you alone. I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. But yeah, it was one of those kind of estate sales, and they needed out. The brother and sister were like my age, and their parents had just passed. Obviously, they were elderly, but it was both of them passed from COVID, and they just had so much stuff. And it was a little over an acre as far as the lot. The house was like a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Big garage and big workshop. They had like an art studio also in another little shed out. I never looked at that because I'm just not interested in art supplies, but they kept directing people out that way. But yeah, I wouldn't mind being at that position at some point where you can just kind of walk in and just know that that's value. Hey, can I give you $300 for that? Can I give you $500? Close this room off. I'll take it. And then you just sort through the stuff, you know, donate what you don't want or can't resell to Goodwill or some other thrift, and go through the rest.
I've done that.
I'm not at that level. I'm not that guy. I just kind of like finding, right now it's like a scavenger hunt for me. It's neat to go out and find one-offs, things that you wouldn't normally would think would be worth anything, and reselling it for a profit. Who doesn't love that?
My suggestion is I would just go low, like to offer like up for a room or something. Because I've done it even at yard sales where they'll have just like junk piled and they did not want to go through it. And I will see a couple of things that I know I can make money off of. And then I'll just be like, and I'm taking I know it's maybe stupid, but I'm taking the risk on the rest of it. And I'll be like, what can we do? Everything I go for like maybe like $50, $100, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And sometimes you'll have those guys nope. He goes, everything's listed $5 a piece, you know, those crazy yard sales, but
it's selling for $60 on eBay.
Yeah, exactly. And I had to point that out, and it's always awkward when I have to, because people will be like, well, technically on eBay, and I'm like, are you looking at solds? And they're like, no, it doesn't matter. That's what they're listed. I'm like, no, if you look at solds, and they're like, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, I sell on eBay, and I know what it is. Yeah. A lot of times they'll shut me off and won't even negotiate with me because they think I'm going to try to make a lot more money off something they're selling at a yard sale.
Yeah, and I'm not that persistent. You know, you kind of know your limits after a while, and you know there's something else down the road, you know, that you're going to find. I'm not going to berate somebody over their prices if they're not willing to negotiate. And I'm not the biggest negotiator. I mean, if I can get $1 or $2 off, sure. But I haven't done that yet where I've bought a table's worth of stuff or a big pile. Now I have piled stuff up, you know, made like a little pile of 10, 15 items that totaled up to, you know, say $35. Hey, will you take 30 or 28? You know, so I've saved a little money that way. And others you just walk up on, like that one I did 2 weeks ago with the denim. I just happened to be at the right place at the right time. It was like 12 o'clock in the afternoon, lunch on Saturday. And they're like, hey, they were moving out of this house, right? And they're just like, hey, we got to start getting rid of stuff. And they just piles of clothes everywhere and other kind of trinkets and games and everything. And they had a bunch of Lowe's and Home Depot boxes. And one of the ladies just told one of the other people, they like, grab a magic marker, just start writing on the boxes. If it's a small box, write $5. Fill a box, $5. If it's a medium box, $10. Fill a box. So I heard that, you know, and I didn't directly look at them. I didn't engage in conversation with them. And I was already going over towards the jeans anyway. And they had a bunch of shoes and I saw some boots. So I knew there was going to be something of value back there. But when they said that, and then I started seeing Wranglers, Levi's, Lucky Brand, Cinch jeans, which those Cinch jeans sold like that, man. I made a pile. I took the $5 box thinking modestly and filled it within a matter of a few minutes and then just kept stacking. And I was like, hey, I may need another box, or actually, let's just settle. Can I settle right here? And, you know, she's like, she looked at it and I probably had more than two $5 boxes worth of stuff. Yeah, because I had some ties and a pair of boots and another pair of shoes. She said $10. All right, cool. Gave her $10. I went and put it in my truck, and I came back and started looking for some other things. And I was like, well, no, I probably should go. And I did. And once I got everything home and counted everything up, everything added up. It was or split down to 40 cents a piece. I mean, so you can't really go wrong.
No.
And out of the 28 pairs of jeans, there was two that are maybe. I mean, there's some that are distressed on purpose, and then there's a couple others that, you know, have a hole in the crotch or they got a hole in the leg. Looks like they snagged it on a barbed wire fence or something. You know, I've already made my money back. I've sold the pair of Cinch jeans that I sold, paid for that 3 times over. So, awesome. But yeah, I'll do that. I'll make piles, but yeah, I'm not at the point yet, and I don't have the room. I'm in and I was saying this the other night, if you guys were watching, but this is probably 12. I'm looking at the ceiling to gauge the footage, but it's probably a 10 by 12 room or a 12 by 12 room. This is my eBay business, and my day job business is all right here. I have some stuff in the garage, which we have a 2-car garage, but we're hoarders, and we have stuff that we still have in boxes from our last move. But I have 2 stainless racks out there that have stuff on it, but not a lot. That's where I bring everything in when I get home, and then I bring it in here as I start listing. So I don't have and I mean, I can always buy a storage unit, but I'm still not that guy to go get a storage unit and start loading it up with stuff that I haven't listed yet on eBay and paying rent fees and whatever else. I'm paying for the eBay store. I might as well list the stuff that I have here rather than go get a storage unit.
Your room sounds like my old room we moved back February 2020. And I'm actually in a basement now, so I have the whole basement to myself, thankfully. But I had all my shelves stacked up to where you could literally only squeeze into the room, and I knew where everything was. And it's just like, how did I do that?
Yeah. I've got everything kind of, you know, wall, you know, as far as the racks. I don't have anything double. Like if you ever watch John Cincinnati Picker, he's got... you know, double rack. So, I got to move this rack to get the box from F1 back here. I can't do that. Plus the floors in here, I don't need to be moving stuff along. And we're renting this house, so I don't need to destroy the house any more than what I have thus far with my storage.
Yeah, we rent ours too. So I try to be very careful on what I'm doing.
Antiques from Karen. There's a first timer for y'all, Chuck, Nate.
Hello, Antiques from Karen. Thanks for stopping by.
Absolutely.
Must be one of Keith's followers.
No, I don't recognize the name.
Well, she just saw the handsome guys in the thumbnail and came in.
Right.
Welcome,
you guys doesn't have a beard.
You tried. You did try. You gave it a college try.
Man, I become a brown and gray peach. Just fuzz. I mean, there's nothing that's going to do anything. And my dad was the same way. My brother, who is 8 years younger than me, has a full beard. Well, he's got like Nate. It's close shaven, you know, but it covers his cheeks. It covers his You know, he's got the mustache, he's got the chin. Even when I do grow stuff out, I got 2 spots right here that nothing grows, and I got like 2 spots right here that nothing grows. So I just look like a spotted peach, a peach that has gone bad.
My brother, when he tries to grow out his beard, he has the spots where it does not fill in. And he goes, not all of us are like you that's been shaving since we've been in 5th grade.
Yeah.
Like,
one of my best friends growing up in 7th and 8th grade, we were like, 13, 14, I guess, in 7th and 8th grade. He literally had to shave twice a day. He had to shave in the morning, and, you know, he had the 5 o'clock shadow as a 14-year-old.
wow.
Everybody has that one kid.
I shave like once a week, unless we're going to do something that I might have to shave twice.
So, Jan, why do you have Antiques from Karen as your name? I'm just curious. And thank you for subscribing, and please consider subscribing to Nate and Keith if you're so inclined.
Oh, Flippy McFlipperson is here too.
Hey, Flippy McFlipperson. There's another great small channel right there.
Yeah. And I'm sure he hears it, and I know he hears it, at least on the chats that I've seen it. Got to be one of the greatest YouTube names out there.
Yes.
For a reseller.
And he's very good at editing, very creative, and
yeah.
I've tried to do some of that. It just looks stupid when I do it.
I try to learn something new every week. I use it's always on my phone. I use that, I don't know how you say it, if it's KnDmaster or KindMaster. It's got some good tools on it, and I do have the paid version. It's like $22 for a year, which is not horrible, especially since I didn't know what the heck I was doing anyway, and I don't need to be calling somebody every 5 minutes and say, hey, how do you do this? But yeah, I've been able to watch videos. There's several instructional videos for that particular app. And each week I try to add just a little something different. I still haven't gotten my graphics down. I want to get that to where it's a little different. But again, if you got the content, it doesn't matter about all the bells and whistles, but it's fun when you have somebody that does have the bells and whistles and the content. So it grabs your attention, keeps your attention, entertains you.
Yeah.
And you learn something.
See, I'm going to have to rely on the editing for a crutch.
Yeah, same. It only took me 37 tries to get this one 30-second segment in. Yeah, the stuff that I do, put on the end with the outtakes, I can't use a lot of the stuff just because I have a really foul mouth when I mess up.
I was literally messaging Chuck, what was it, Chuck, last week or sometime, and I was telling him, I go, I have a lot more outtakes, but I haven't been able to figure out how to add a bleep there because, I mean, they're funny, but people probably would take me too serious.
I'm pretty. You could tell exactly what I'm saying because I want to make sure the world hears it, even though it's just me here in the room when I'm doing my videos.
I'm the exact same way.
I'm sure my neighbors have probably complained. Not to me directly, but.
Jan, do you know how to post your link? I made you a moderator now. Do you know how to post a link to your channel?
Actually, I have her channel if you want me to post it.
Cool.
Yeah, why don't you post a link then?
I just subscribed.
We always need new content, new creators, stuff to check out, man.
So what was the name of that software you use, Keith?
It's KINE Master. So it's like KindMaster or KnDmaster. I've heard it pronounced both ways. I haven't looked at their like actual YouTube channel, but there's a guy, I want to say he's Australian. Let me see if I can pull him up. Oh, Primal Video. He's got a lot of instructional videos on several different kinds of editing software, but I watch the ones that are specifically for the KindMaster or KnDmaster, however you say it. But it's all on the phone. I know there's probably a desktop version.
Oh.
I'm comfortable doing it on the phone. So far, that's the way I've edited all my videos. So I haven't had an issue with that. What I'm going to need to figure out how to do, and do you edit on your phone, Chuck, or do you put it on the desktop or laptop?
I don't do anything on my phone. I barely do phone calls on my phone.
Oh, okay. Because I want to know how to do like I guess you have a GoPro or something similar. You just plug that directly into your computer and download the video, right? Or either.
Well, yeah, I have it's got an SD card that I transfer.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know if I could do that and put it onto the phone or to to where I can edit it. You know, take it from the Faux Pro. It's a SJ Cam, SJ 4000 or something like that. It's about 4 years old. It's probably equivalent to the Hero 5, maybe, or the Hero 3 GoPro. You know, it doesn't have a ton of bells and whistles, but it's good enough, and it does put out a good picture. I just haven't used it to video in the wild yet, or while sourcing. So,
A board Brian.
but yeah, I need to figure that out at some point, just because I do want to put that kind of content out that I like to watch, but I know it probably gets old and repetitive doing haul videos and what sold videos. So yeah, when you can kind of see the sourcing methods too, and also the negotiations, you know, sometimes that helps. I know I've learned a lot just from watching, you know, the 85 or 90 people that I'm subscribed to, the ones that actually film out while they're sourcing.
I'm wanting to get a GoPro so I can start doing more like sourcing, which my wife thinks I'm too awkward to do that.
Yeah.
Like have a camera on me and then talk to someone trying to negotiate. But like, I know I'm not very funny when it comes to negotiating, because a lot of times I'll be like, hey, wasn't this like buy one, get one free or something? And
Right.
we'll both laugh it off trying to break the ice, because sometimes if you go straight into negotiating, I've learned that people become standoffish, like you're trying to rip them off. And it's just like, I'm just trying to save a little bit of money here.
Yeah.
And I have a problem too, and this may make me sound like a horrible person, but I sell a lot of Christmas stuff year round. And it's my favorite thing to sell because I'm good at it. And I have a problem when I'm looking at Christmas stuff and I don't initiate the conversation. They're like, oh, you like the Christmas stuff? This was like my mom's and like this. And they're like, we really enjoy Christmas. And I'm like, yeah, me and my daughter really, this is how we bond, just through Christmas. And my grandma loved Christmas. And we bond over that. And there was one time, I know this is going to sound terrible, but I got a bunch of free decorative plates, Christmas plates, because the woman connected with me because of my story about me and my daughter love decorating for Christmas every year. I know that's terrible, but it worked.
Yeah.
I didn't ask for it for free. I was willing to pay. And she goes, no, I just know they're going to a good home. And I'm like, oh.
And I've had that happen it doesn't happen that often, but yeah, every once in a while you'll engage in conversation with somebody and I'll just take it, you know. They're just wanting to get rid of it anyway, but then you kind of feel bad because if you made any part of a story up, not that any of us ever embellish the truth at all, and I try not to, but sometimes words just come out of my mouth and I can't stop them.
Yeah.
And well, just take it. I mean, if you and your son like to do stuff with that, then take it. Like, I mean, $5 anyway. No, here's what I have. There you go, SJ Cam. So it's very similar. And it's got the screen on the back, obviously. But it's similar to one of the older GoPros, and it had the waterproof case. It was in that, because that's what we had used it for. My mom took all of us on a cruise like 4 years ago, and we picked this up for my son because he was going to go snorkeling. I have no desire to snorkel. So, yeah, we got that for that, and that's the only thing we've ever used it for. And I charged it back up. Everything works. We've got 3 batteries for it and a ton of accessories. I did have to buy the clip for the strap, but now I got to wear a backpack, and I don't like wearing backpacks. And down here in Texas, like even now, you know, even though it's 70, 75, 78 today, I think, the humidity is still just horrible. So if I'm wearing a backpack with a strap on, I'm going to be sweating if it's 78 or if it's 95 in the middle of the summer that it's going to be. So I don't know if I want to go to all that trouble to do that. I saw where Angie was talking about something like a lanyard, I guess same thing where it kind of fits on one of these little things and you just hang it down, but I would think it would kind of bounce, especially with my gut, too much to where you're not going to get a steady picture, you know. But I don't know.
See, right now this is what I
use to use this thing. What do you got? Oh, just a
handheld.
Yeah,
I forget where I found this at.
Well, my webcam is on my handheld right now. Yeah.
I just use my phone. I put this on here, use this for now.
Yeah.
And I mean, my first time doing the Goodwill video took a lot of courage because I always talked about it. And then every time I went in, I'm like, you know what? Today's not the day.
Yeah.
But I finally just was like, if I don't do it, I'm never going to do it. So
Go in on a Tuesday night, like at 8:30.
I actually went during a winter storm.
Yeah.
And no one was in there but the employees, so I felt comfortable. That was my first night filming.
But I'm gonna try to get more out, even if I'm just using my phone. I'm gonna try to get some more footage, especially when I come across something interesting. Some of the, obviously a lot of garage sales, yard sales, they're all cookie cutter. They kind of look the same. But some of them you come across and they're like that one where I got all those jeans. It was huge. I mean, they had everything out in the front yard, in their driveway, in the garage, in their neighbor's yard.
Wow.
And 10 by 10s up and everything. I tried to take a little video of that just from my truck after I'd gone back in, before I showed my haul from there. But yeah, I mean, I like those kind of videos too. I just haven't been able to produce those because I'm not comfortable and I don't know how to use that particular camera just yet.
Yeah.
I mean, I could do the handheld thing, but then I use my phone for comping. So I like to know what I'm buying before I buy it. I don't have extreme knowledge on everything just yet. I do know some items now that I picked up repetitively and that have sold for me, so I know what to look for there. But yeah, other stuff I kind of like to look and learn and know. If I have the time and there's not. Sometimes the homeowner or whoever's running the sale is just right up on you the whole time. Like, oh yeah, well this I used to sell this. I had a shop and. Okay, I don't need a backstory on it. I just know what you want on it. Sorry, your shop didn't make it.
I end up. I went to a yard sale and it was awkward because the guy was kind of a douchebag. It was a town south of us, and I stopped by, and his wife just passed away a few months before the yard sale, and he used to have a store in this small town, and it doesn't. You're in a small town. No one knows who you are outside of that town. And he was like, well, I was the owner of this, like telling me, and I knew who he was. And I'm just like, cool. And he goes, yeah, we did really good on the business. This is what all these Christmas stuff's here is sitting here for. And I'm like, that's good, man. And he kept following me around. And I go, I was trying to get all the Christmas stuff for $20. And he goes, no. He goes, that's worth way more than that. I used to sell this, all day for $5, $10. And I go, but you're in a yard sale and your store's no longer open. I go, I told him, I'm like, I'm going to be the only one that comes here today that offers you $30 or $20 at the time for all of your stuff. And he goes, well, I'm not selling you the totes. And I'm like, that's fine. Then he's like, well, you know what? The lowest I'll go is $40. And then out of nowhere, and I'm just like, with the totes or without? And he goes, no totes. You got to haul it yourself. And I was like sitting there thinking, and I knew the value of the stuff. I ended up making over $500 from all that stuff. Yeah. So I'm just like, you know what? I just want to get out of here. I'll pay the and I told I'll pay the $40. And I told him, like, I'll give you $50 if you let me have the totes. And he goes, nope, I'm keeping the totes. They're mine.
Deal breaker.
I had to go back to my car and get all my IKEA bags and fill those up. And he sat there and he goes, I'm just going to sit here and make sure you don't take one of my totes. And I'm like, dude, like, calm down.
Right. That brown box right above the sheet there, that's an IKEA box back there. I ordered directly from their site. I bought like 3 larges and 3 mediums. I haven't opened the box yet. I haven't used them yet. But now I'm an official reseller. I have IKEA bags. Huh?
So I've never stepped foot in an IKEA store, but I
ordered those online.
I'm going to have to look it up online, but I am very fond of their bags, especially it helps going to the post office and everything.
Yeah. Well, like in our neighborhood, we have those old mail pods, and one is right out in front over here. So I see when they drive up. And for outgoing mail, they only have like an envelope size slot, like a letter. That's all you can put in there. So I have to schedule pickups. And on the days that my regular mail carrier doesn't come, a lot of times the whoever's taking their place or subbing for them, they don't do the pickups. That ticks me off. But then I have to get it out because I have 1 day handling. So I probably should change it to 2. because the closest, I mean, again, I'm in a big metropolitan area, but it's not the easiest to get to. I have one that's 8 miles that way, one that's 5 miles that way, one that's 7 miles that way. There'll be a test later. But yeah, it's just a matter of, I scheduled a pickup. Why do I now have to drive? Because your carrier didn't pick it up. But
See,
I have the bags now, so yeah, if I need to do it, I can do it.
like I live right down the road from the post office, but I have been doing scheduled pickups. And then my mail carrier, I think he retired part-time because he's only here like once a week now.
Oh, wow.
Or maybe twice a week. But when it's not his day, my mail doesn't even come. My regular mail. My mail comes only the days that he shows up. And because they were training a young kid, and I don't know if he just doesn't stop at our area when it's his day.
That's weird.
I mean, I did not want to be dinged by eBay for late delivery time or anything. So
because you did what you were supposed to do.
Yeah, I'm literally, I think, a half mile away from the post office. I'm just going to suck it up and go in there, drop it off, and leave instead of depending on them because, like I said, half the time I don't even get our regular mail.
Yeah. They still drop the regular mail off, but the subs won't pick up. Not all of them. But again, unfortunately, I sit right here. But if they don't come before like 4 o'clock, then I won't see them because at that time I'm usually starting dinner. Since I work from home, I do the majority of the cooking, like dinner wise, because my wife didn't get home till 5:36. But yeah, and I'll see them sometimes because from the kitchen window I can kind of see out that side of the house to the front, and I'll see them, and I'll run and go grab my boxes, and they're already gone. And I don't know which direction they go next, so I haven't chased them down yet. But I should probably find out where they go after they leave here. But my regular lady, she'll pick them up. She's fine. We've talked. She actually wants to get into reselling. She likes going to garage sales and yard sales and stuff.
Yeah, my wife enjoys the whole yard sale thrifting scene, but she's not into selling like I am. I'd sell you the shirt off my back if I knew you'd give me a decent price for it.
Yeah, I've taken my son to a few of the estate sales. He kind of likes those, I guess, just because. I don't know why. I mean, we haven't really gone garage selling together, but we've gone to the estate sales, and he's picked up a couple items, usually like some sporting goods type stuff. We've sold them. So if he's off work, if he's not working on a Saturday or a Sunday, which that's the only days that he does work right now.
Yeah,
being that he's still in high school. Then he'll go with me real quick, especially like on a Sunday, because Sunday's half price day. I say, okay, it's 15 miles away. You don't work till 1 o'clock. They open at noon. Do you want to try to go or not? No, just here's $10. If you find something for me, buy it. But yeah, if he doesn't work till later, or there's some days on Sundays when he works like 6:30 in the morning till 11, which is great because the Sunday hours are usually 12 to 4 at the estate sale.
Yeah,
let's go get the half price stuff. See what they got left. So that's been cool.
That is awesome. Like I said, my wife doesn't. I mean, she does have an eye for it, but because she's actually picked up some good things, but I could never get her to sell because she's just not as.
Yeah.
She calls me obsessed with money, making a dollar. So.
Yeah. When I first got into it, like I said earlier in the show, I thought my wife would be excellent at this, and I even told her. I still tell her that to this day. I know if you would go, of course, I probably wouldn't be able to drag her away from some of the garage sales and estate sales, but I know she would have a good eye. And I know, especially like jewelry and stuff like that and women's clothing, she would know. And like purses, there's a lot of places I go that have purses and stuff. And I don't know the reals and the fakes and all that. And I'm not even going to deal with it. I don't want to get any kind of a ding for selling a fake Coach bag or a Louis Vuitton or whatever.
Same here.
But, I know she would have the eye for it because her and her sister-in-law and her sister and a lot of her girlfriends, they buy that kind of stuff, on deal, on discount. They find these sites and these places that have the actual stuff that are discounted prices. Of course, they're older models or whatever, but whatever. They're high fashion on a low budget.
Yeah.
Either of you guys do any consignment stuff? We got Dan asking.
I did years ago when I was still in the beer business. I used to get a lot of beer advertising paraphernalia. I kept a lot of it. I had a lot of it at my house. I still have a lot of it to this day. A lot of it I gave to my brother because he kind of turned his double car garage into a sports bar. But that's the only thing I really did on consignment, and that was late 90s.
Yeah, I only did consignment once, and I literally got, I think I said it on the last show or the previous or one of the shows, but I literally got a $6 check back.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, why did you even waste the money? Like, because I drove about an hour and a half to drop off everything, and it just wasn't worth it. Now, I do accept consignments, but I take 50%, which I know it sounds extreme, but it's like I tell family that want me to sell stuff for them, like, I am the one doing all the work. I'm doing the listing, the researching. Like, a lot of the stuff I'll know what estimate they can make, but I'm going to the post office and I take 50%. A lot of them think I'm a crook because of it. They won't sell with me. I'm like, then sell it yourself. Like, I'm not hurting to have to sell your stuff. That's why I look for stuff myself, because I prefer not to do it, but I will accept it if someone is desperate. Or, I mean, sometimes I have done favors for people just because I understand their situation, and then it's not like they're asking me to sell a bunch of stuff. They just got one or two items to help them get by for, that month or something, then I'll help them out. But
yeah, I don't take anything to a consignment place if that's, and I see some of her for follow-ups now where that's probably what she was talking about. I don't take any of my stuff to consignment shops anymore. I mean, my wife will take some of her clothing to like Plato's Closet, or there's some other secondhand places like that, and do consignment that way. And then she's got friends that have asked her, hey, your husband does eBay and stuff, right? Can he sell this for me? And I've agreed to. I haven't seen any of this stuff yet, but I was like, yeah, just, if they don't want to bring it over here or give it to you to bring to me, just have them take some pictures and send it to me and tell me what it is, so I can at least research it first to tell them if they're going to make any money off of it. And I mean, they're friends, and they're really good friends of my wife's. So I wouldn't take a huge percentage. Obviously, I want to, be compensated for my time and whatever postage and stuff like that, but and boxing, handling stuff. But I don't think I'd take a chunk of the profits. Now if somebody approached me and said, somebody that I didn't really know, but they knew what I did, and they said, hey, can you sell this for me? Then I would probably go at a higher percentage at that point.
Yeah, my grandma has a lot of like fine china she's never touched forever. And she has some Carnival glass that her dad gave to her mom back in the early, I want to say either late 30s or early 40s.
Wow.
And it's a prized possession. She goes, quit looking at it. I know what you think every time you look into that cabinet. And I go, you're telling me if someone came up and was like, hey, this is worth $100,000 or something, which I know it's not, but I'm like, just to try to get, into her head. I'm like, and someone's like, $100,000, you would not take it. She goes, well, yeah, I'm not stupid. I'd sell it in a heartbeat. I'm like, see, you're not that connected to it then.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, a lot of stuff like that, especially with older people, or I mean, even myself. And like I said, we've been semi-hoarders at times in our lives. Some things have sentimental value, and there's really no price on that, especially if it's, some nice stuff like that. They don't consider it collectible. They remember the time they got it. They remember who they got it from, whether it was a wedding gift or an anniversary gift or birthday gift. But yeah, if it's, at the time it may not have been a highly sought after item, but as time goes by, that stuff becomes more and more rare. The value does go up. At that point, am I going to use this? Is it just for a display? Is it just holding a box together up in the attic? And then, sell it. Why are you holding on to it? You could buy something or use it for something that, that you do use, some kind of a consumer item, or invest it or whatever, or give it to your grandkids if you're an older person.
I mean, I got something I would not sell, and I'll show you real quick. I'm proud of my leg. It's a prosthetic leg from the 1930s that I got at Oddity Expo, and I'm
quite
Chuck. Proud of that. Oh, did that traumatize you, Chuck? I'm sorry.
Chuck zoomed in on himself.
I love me.
He's a rare oddity as well.
And that clown in there is just a clown that I got at a Halloween store. It's called a closet clown. So when you turn on the lights or have any movement, he does an evil laugh and his eyes light up yellow. But
Nice.
yeah, that's a proud possession of mine. That would
You
be
haven't even made like a Christmas Story leg lamp out of it or anything?
Do what?
You haven't made like a Christmas Story leg lamp out of it? You know, that movie they show around Christmas time all the time?
No, not
leg lamp?
yet. But give it time. My wife's very creative, so
right.
I'll need it. You actually, in our house for a while, it was a display piece with some flowers coming out of it. So, and then our house is quite odd with our collections and stuff.
Yeah. Closet clown. That's never. I don't have a deal with clowns, but my stepdaughter does, and my wife to a certain extent does. And then for some reason, my stepdaughter also has a fear of UPS drivers, UPS trucks. She has just some kind of weird panic thing, and not to make light of your situation, Chuck. I have panic attacks on heights and not feeling safe. But yeah, so she has the thing about clowns and UPS drivers. So the interwebs being what it is, I was able to find a picture of a clown driving a UPS truck.
Oh my God.
And I sent it to her, and I think she created some new cuss words. Yeah, she wasn't too happy with me at that time.
I bet.
Well, everybody's got some sort of phobia, or at least most people do. I hate snakes. That show that you guys had the other day, or last week, or week before rather, that was tough for me to watch. I wanted to watch it because I like watching you guys, but yeah, just with the snakes and spiders don't mess with me too much. But I don't know of any other like real phobia that I would have. But that's kind of, I don't know. It's just one of those things.
I will make a note not to bring my snakes on the show then.
Right. Oh, so that's right. You had snakes too. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just made a note. No snakes. Keith will leave us.
I'll tell you a quick story on that. And the snake was not poisonous. At least I don't think it was, from what I was told. But years ago, I had a white trash mansion, double wide mobile home, and had some plumbing issues. Right. So one end of the house, because the lot was kind of at an angle. So one end of the house was up pretty high. Unfortunately, it was the end where the water heater was and a lot of the fixtures coming into the house. So I'm a do-it-yourselfer kind of guy. I went and got the parts that I needed and everything. But I'm also a big guy. So I could fit under there and I could barely just kind of sit, but my legs were straight out, right? And my head's right below the thing. And I'm trying to put stuff up, take stuff apart, put stuff back together. And a racer snake, the ones that go with their head above the ground, came through about 10 feet in front of me. He was booking it. He wasn't stopping and looking. He wasn't chatting, nothing. But as soon as I saw him come from the left side and over to the right side, I immediately froze. And then I think I kind of blacked out. I mean, I didn't pass out, but
dang.
I became so fearful or in fear at that time that I didn't know what to do. I just kind of froze, and then came back to, I don't know how much longer later. And I'm like, okay, I got out and I immediately started drinking, I think right after that, and then finished the plumbing thing later on that day. But yeah, snakes
just
and
remember,
me.
they just want love too.
We're not buddies. I don't need, I don't need to kill them. I just don't like being around them.
I want to say hi to Josh. Thank you for coming in. And I missed Sarcastic Storage Locker. Thank you for coming in. And
that's a great name too, especially for those that like sarcasm.
I'm sorry, Sarcastic Storage Stacker. I said locker, I think. I'm a moron. And
he'll say something sarcastic to you probably.
That's all right.
For messing up his name.
I speak fluent sarcasm.
I do too.
And hello to Gina. Thank you for coming in.
I saw somebody posted, just a picture. I'm sure you guys see them. It's got to be on the interweb everywhere on Facebook, but it's always this taco place that has a little sign where you put the letters in. It's El Arroyo Taco Shack, and it'll have like a different saying or whatever. And I don't know. I can send some to you guys later. But anyway, the one that I saw today, it said, "I've never faked a sarcasm."
I like that.
I thought it was pretty funny. It made me chuckle.
Typing is hard.
It is.
I'm
What
trying
gets
to
me,
put, Josh's channel in there. Sorry.
I've got the wireless keyboard, and sometimes, some days, I don't know if the atmosphere is just wrong or whatever, because I know the batteries are good, and I know my little USB thing is working and all that. But you start typing, and then it just like repeats the letters. You know, like you type hello, and it'll have like 17 H's, 13 L's. You know, come on, man. It's just from here to right there where the USB is. You're telling me that something is that wrong to where it's going to stay like that?
That's frustrating.
It is. Little things like that. And I said that the other night too. Little things tick me off more than big things. Like catastrophic things I can deal with. But little stuff just kind of adds up, and it starts piling on your shoulders and everything, and then it just spews. To be as graphic as I can be without being verbal about it.
And it goes.
That would be a good T-shirt, Karen. Never faked a sarcasm. I'm sure there probably is one.
If not, there will be after tonight.
Right? Be the next smiley face T-shirt, like Forrest Gump.
All right, we're going to do one more question before we wrap up, I think.
Sure. I'll stretch it out as long as I can.
Jan wants to know, what's the most unique thing you've sold for big bucks?
The most unique thing, well, I believe I've mentioned this before, so I apologize if anybody's hearing the story again, but this was probably my second estate sale ever that I went to several months ago, probably coming up on a year now. I went on a Saturday and I saw these two little glass orbs, paperweights, obviously, sitting on a bar that separates like the living room from the kitchen. Didn't think much about them. I saw the prices on them. They're like 28 and 14. I'm like, why do I want to spend that money for a big chunk of glass? Came back Sunday for half price day and they were still there. So I'm like, okay, let me just look at them, because there wasn't a whole lot left in the house at that time. And it had some nice little decorations inside and everything. So it's unique. You know, somebody put some effort into that. I just tried to look around, and there was a little paper tag on one of them that said Baccarat paperweight. So I asked one of the ladies, because they weren't incredibly busy that day. I said, how do you know it's Baccarat? And so she took her phone and turned the camera on, and you can zoom in with your camera. That's a good magnifying glass for us older folks. And you could see on the bottom side, on the flat side of the paperweight, the little maker's mark that said Baccarat. And it would have like a 4-digit number, which it looked like a year. The two or three they had there, they had like 1953 on one, 1970 on one, and I forget the other one, but it's not a year. That is that particular maker's mark as far as the artist that designed that particular paperweight. So Baccarat has the same stamp, but then the 4-digit number correlated to whatever artist created that particular piece. So I looked it up just vaguely from that conversation with her and what I thought it was. And I saw several prices that were pretty darn good. And this is not like $1,000 story or anything like that, but it was a pretty good turn and a quick turn. So I got them for half price. I got the bigger one for $14. I got the smaller one for $7. And there was one other, but it wasn't a Baccarat. The bigger one, so it had like a candy cane. They called it like a scrambled egg millefiore or something like that. But it looked like a bunch of little candy canes all intertwined in this little glass orb. So I bought it for $14, listed it like on that night, Sunday night, and Tuesday I had an offer. I listed it for $299 just because there were prices all over the place out there. And then I had an offer for $200 or $190 something, and I countered at $250, and they came back at $200, and I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I don't know enough about these things. Accept. So a 2-day turn, basically $14 into $200. That's one I remember just because I didn't know anything about that particular product, that particular piece. So now anytime I go to an estate sale or a garage sale that looks like they may have some higher end stuff, I'm looking for paperweights, baccarat paperweights to be exact. But yeah, that was my most memorable turn. I have had some probably bigger profit turns where, free into $80 or free into $120, but like a sound bar for a television. Somebody was just giving one away in our neighborhood and I sold it for $120.
That's awesome.
But that baccarat paperweight, because I didn't know anything about it, I got to learn something, and at the same time I got paid for my education. So that was nice.
I'm gonna have to keep an eye for that brand.
Yeah, baccarat, just Baccarat. I guess, isn't there a card game that's baccarat or something like that?
Art Baccarat.
There you go.
The world needs now is love, sweet love.
I wouldn't know because I'm terrible at names and titles. I have to write everything down.
I'd vaguely heard the name, it's just like you see some timepieces, some watches or stuff, and you kind of recognize the name, and you look it up, So I kind of knew the name, but I didn't know how they knew it was because I didn't see anything on it. How the hell do you know it's baccarat? I mean, it's just vague and is faded, not intentionally faded, but it's just so. You had to have like either the jeweler's glass or like she showed me with her camera or phone, just zoom in and you could see the etching. So that was neat. That's the answer. Sorry, it was long-winded, but
that's a great answer.
Yeah, I like it. And I'll tell that story again and again.
Right now?
Sure. So I was at this.
That's awesome.
Yeah. What about you guys? I mean, not to drag it out any longer, but just if y'all can quickly do that, and then y'all can wrap it up if you want. What's your biggest turn or your most memorable turn?
Mine, I don't know. I haven't sold anything for huge money.
Yeah.
I always tell the story about the JFK bust that I sold for $75 that Marcy found in a dumpster.
Yeah.
That was from the first Democratic National Convention after JFK was assassinated.
Wow.
That was one of our favorites.
Beer sweater.
A beer sweater?
Yeah, the old Milwaukee sweater.
Well, that was yours.
Oil Spilwaukee.
And another one, I sold a CPAP machine.
Oh, yeah.
That no one would bid on. I finally said, fine, I'll give you $5. I probably could have got it for $1. And yeah, I sold that for, I think, $250.
It was over 200.
And and they let me sell it, let me ship it. I got my money, and then I got a slap on the wrist from
right
saying you're not supposed to sell.
That's what I was going to ask. They say you could part them out, but you can't sell them as a whole, right? Or something like that.
Yeah, I think so. Or you can call it something else.
Right.
But
it's a Pepsi machine.
A Pepsi, a Pep smear. No. But
that's a different reselling website.
Oh, I don't know what you mean. But I don't know. That's the best I got.
Nate?
I have something that I still have not listed that I know I can bring in big money. It's one of those ceramic trees that I found. But it's one of those things where I'm trying to figure out if I really want to trust the shipping process. But the thing that I have sold is I did spend a little bit more on it. I think it's around $25, $30, but it was a huge model plane that I found at a thrift store the town south of us. And I forget what the brand was. I wish I knew it, but I want to say it was around 115 to 120 that I was able to flip it for. And it actually sold within just a few hours of me listing because it came, all the parts were there and everything. And I kind of wish I would have sold it for a lot or listed it for a lot more because I think I could have got it. But it was one of them, when I was first trying to go full time, it was one of the most expensive things that I sold.
Yeah.
Or had listed. And when it did sell, it actually put a hold on my PayPal account for a while because they said it was a suspicious activity due to the money, I guess, because usually my sales were between $20 to $40, and all of a sudden it jumped to around $115, $120. They thought it was suspicious.
Right.
And held it for so many days.
So it was already put together, or it was a model kit?
No, it was a model kit.
A model kit. Okay.
And I told my wife, I'm like, I cannot believe this is only $30. So then I started looking at the comps, and all the solds were around, I think 120 to up to 190. But I'm like, I've never sold anything like this, so I'm going to list it on the lower end, and I kind of regret that now. But still, it was exciting. I haven't found anything model plane wise like that since then, but I'm always on the lookout for it.
Well, cool. The thrift store that I go to on Saturdays, like if I kind of strike out at the garage sales or if I have enough time to go to it, it's the one that they get all the leftovers from the estate sales and stuff. Plus, individuals donate it to it as well. But there's always some kind of models in there, like the old Revell models, different cars, trucks, boats, planes, whatever. Sometimes they'll have the kits and they're still sealed, and other times, but they want big money for them. They almost want the same that you get for eBay. I have found one or two, and I found a little Maisto car. I think you found some Maisto stuff, Chuck, right? The planes and stuff.
Yes,
Maisto, however you say it. I've got a Pontiac Sunbird that I got there for $12 that's supposedly selling for 50 or 60. Haven't sold it yet, but yeah, they have some model kits there, and yeah. I always look at them. I pick them up. I found a few. I found a big Peterbilt one when I first started thrifting 2.5, 3 years ago. Again, kind of seriously, I guess. And got it for $2 or $3. And it sold for like 30 or 40. Just a Peterbilt tractor truck.
See, I pick up everything. Like I know ISO Big Nugget said that I'm the kind of guy who finds not a lot of the $100 items, but the $10, $20, $30 items.
Yep.
And I'm that guy all day.
We outlasted the other shows.
That's absolutely fine. I've been picking up a lot of smalls over the last year or two until I'm learning, some more about some other stuff to look for. Not that I don't want to spend my money on the smalls because I know they're going to make money. I'll still buy them. But yeah, I'm still kind of looking for the bigger items that are selling for 20, 30, 40, not 4, 8, 10, 12. Although those items make money too, depending on what you get them for. Like a lot of the stuff we get for free, or all those jeans I got for 40 cents a piece. Yeah, I'll buy that and sell it for $10. I just, 20 times my money.
Exactly.
We got 20 people in here again.
That's awesome.
We outlasted Jan and Nana's shows.
Did we really?
Yeah. They came and left, and now people are coming back.
Have we done anything instructional? Have we given any good information out? We haven't had any really big belly laughs or anything either. Where's Keith? He's not been in the chat.
Yeah. What the heck, Keith? You ruined our show by being on it.
I didn't bring my script. I told you my writers, they didn't bring me any good stuff. My makeup artist didn't show. All I've got is notes from my day job here. That's it. I don't have anything good to tell. I usually play off of people like you watching or watching people in the chat. And I haven't been able to keep up with the chat. So
Not in the chat either.
Sorry if I let y'all down. But you got the hours.
Yes, we did.
That's what I need. So all these people, y'all need to come see me Monday night. If I can plug myself before we leave here.
Promote your show.
Yeah, Monday night on my channel, it is myself and Danny from Pickwa Resellers. He's got a little bit bigger of a channel. He's, I think, around 1,800 subs. And he's going to do a giveaway when he gets to 1,850. Why 1,850, I don't know. But he chose that. And he's got like this big monster thing that he's going to give away. But yeah, we alternate weeks. We kind of connected back in late November, early December when he was trying to push towards 1,000. And he's the guy that John, Cincinnati Picker, he goes and kind of picks his warehouse every once in a while. So he's got a lot of good stuff, a lot of good information. He took me under his arm and decided to bring me along with him and let me do a live show with him so that I could kind of build my numbers up a little bit. That's Plus, awesome. I like watching these kinds of things. So I'm not incredibly comfortable in front of the camera, but I get a little better, I think, each time I do something like this. But yeah, so this week it's on my channel, KnD Flips. If you're not sub, please sub. If you want to just come check it out before you make that decision to sub, you can do that as well. I'm not a browbeater. I'm not going to coerce you into anything. But come check it out. Ours is based on goals. We set a weekly goal. If we meet it, we discuss that in the first 5, 10, 15 minutes. and then we just go with the chat after that. So it has helped me. I have actually listed more than I have in any previous weeks. I listed 40 last week. I've been listing 8 a day for the last 3 or 4 days on my calendar. I don't have a momentum board. I'm just going off a regular old calendar that I got on the wall over there. Of course, I have a day job, so when I get a chance, I try to take pictures during the day because I don't have a lighting set up, and I'll list at night if I get the time. So yeah, come check us out. We talk about goals and some other stuff, bolos, whatever, jokes.
All right. Well, you did a great job tonight, Keith.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed having you on our show.
When we're all big time channels, we can maybe do this again.
We will.
We can take down YouTube together, guys.
3 10K sub resellers. Get all your money's worth.
I want to thank Marcy for sitting in for me for a while.
Absolutely, yeah.
Thank you, Marcy.
That was a pleasure.
Thank you to everyone that showed up. I'm starving. I can tell Nate has to pee. So
you can see me fidgeting.
Yeah, I can tell. I know that look.
Yeah, I'm about 4 beers in, so it's about time to break the seal.
Thanks everyone, and it's been awesome. And I'm going to end the broadcast. See you all next week on this channel.
See you, everyone. Thanks for stopping by.
Good night, everybody.